points and promises made during the following program are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Tom Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go, go, go.
Did you hear that hair?
Morning radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Ray Paulwell in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
You ever completely unable to get comfortable? That's me right now. I just can't do it, Andrew.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. We finished Baby Reindeer. The whole thing is just messed up.
So the last scene, didn't it make you think, oh my gosh? Wasn't it
Like-
an oh my goodness moment?
Like, I didn't feel that. I was like, this is it? I can't believe it's over.
Well, you didn't
'Cause
think about it.
It left you to think. And that I don't like, Andrew. I do not like thinking. It reminds me of the Sopranos ending where it's like, without a spoiler alert, did he go back? And is that what you're thinking? Did
No, it's completing the cycle. It's starting the cycle all over again. He went to the bar, sat down. The guy gave him a drink for free.
Oh.
He became
the stalker.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it amazing how it can mess people up?
It was a very
right.
entertaining
Actually,
and
when
disturbing show.
When you think about it, he had all of the things posted on the wall. He was the crazy one. Yeah. It just messed.
Maybe she wasn't even there.
It messed the whole. I don't
think it was that
incredible.
deep.
Yeah. Anyway, if you get a chance, avoid Baby Reindeer. I'm just telling you.
Unless you truly want to be disturbed.
Messed up. Mets had a nice little win yesterday. A little walk-off. That was pretty good. But here's the problem. The Mets are consistently falling 4 or 5 runs behind in every game because of their starting pitching. And, Davey, whenever I talk about the Mets, whenever I even mention them, you always do this with your hand. You, brush me off. Are you shut up? Enough about the Mets.
The Mets are a good team, but the Yankees are New York's team.
Well, that's not true. They may be your New York's team, but, I'm not a Hochul fan. So it's Hochul and the Yankees, everybody else in the Mets.
All right, come on. That's not fair.
They did play well yesterday. I did watch the game. I was flipping back.
It was a good
end.
Listen, here's the problem, though. They keep falling behind with starting pitching. And then their relief is just phenomenal. So take it for what it is. All right, we have a lot to get to. What?
Do you think when the Mr. Cigna comes back, Kadai Singa is going to help him?
Well, I think it'll help him. Let's hope, anyway.
If only they had Verlander and Scherzer. I wonder what kind of
Yeah,
season
think about that. Let's see. There is a divide among House Republicans over this anti-Semitism bill that was passed this week in the House. I do not believe it'll go anywhere ultimately. I just think it kind of goes a little bit, I feel anyway, it goes a little bit too far. And remember, right now we're talking about putting limits on what people can say in regards to Jewish people. Maybe next it's another group. Maybe next it's what people can say or what people aren't allowed to say or are allowed to say. I'm losing my train of thought. I don't know. Anyway.
What's next is your point.
What's next? It's kind of that slippery slope situation. Yeah. And who do you have on the line here, Davey? What do we have?
It's a special guest on 1 and then Ryan on 2.
Okay.
We should take Ryan first because he's only got
a hard out. So special guest on 1. Stand by. We'll get to you. Ryan Schmelz is with Fox News Radio. And Ryan, we're just talking about this. And that is and this is where some Republicans are. This kind of goes a little too far. And there's a bit of a slippery slope here. What do you think? What are you hearing?
Well, this bill's already passed. So, right. We did see, over 300 lawmakers, both Democrat and Republican, vote for this bill. But you saw 91 lawmakers vote against it. And it was a mix of Democrats like Jerry Nadler, who's the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee from New York. But then you also see some hardline Republicans like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and a couple others who voted against it. And based off what we heard, this has created a lot of drama, at least within conservative circles, because from what one lawmaker was telling me is that 4 people met with Speaker Johnson beforehand, said that they had issues with the language but wanted to vote for the bill. Johnson said he was going to fix the legislation according to them, and then he proceeded to put the bill on the floor as it was anyway without making any changes, and that ticked off a number of Republicans. And the one I was speaking with was actually going to go home this weekend and consider the motion to vacate over this, saying that this was a tough situation that Johnson put them in because, they obviously wanted to vote for the bill. They wanted to vote for an anti-Semitism bill,
right.
One that was going to enforce it. But at the same time, they felt like it went too far, and it was just a bill they couldn't support.
This is the problem here, and it's kind of like when your father says, "Why you put me in this situation? Now you have to be punished." And because who wants to vote against a bill that is against that is for anti-Semitism, right?
Yeah.
Or against
nobody.
Nobody wants to seem as if they're coming in on the side of being anti-Jewish. But at the same time, maybe it goes a little too far. We'll see where all of this goes. But I think the key to this, Ryan, according to you, it seems, is the drama that's coming out of this.
Right, yes. And the fact that you have a number of Republican lawmakers, I've got at least one who told me that they are going to now consider and process, whether or not they're going to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene's move to oust Speaker Johnson over this. This person was already frustrated with, a number of issues before that, but this one was just not a good one for Speaker Johnson, according to this lawmaker. But, those like Mike Lawler, who were the authors of this text, also a New York lawmaker, New York Republican, he says that there are protections for free speech in here, but clearly that wasn't enough for these 91 lawmakers who voted against it.
I feel like we already have hate speech bills and things like that. It almost seems like can't we enforce? It's the situation with a lot of things going on in the country now.
Well, is this specifically on college campuses?
Well, it's specifically directed towards the Department of Education. The power that this would expand is the Department of Education's power, and it would kind of require the Department of Education to use the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism. And that's where a lot of this concern comes from, is because if you go on the IHRA's website, or IHRA's website, it gives a number of definitions of anti-Semitism. It includes, I got to pull it up right here, accusing Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide than to the interests of their own nations. And they feel that, a lot of these examples that are used on that website cross into protected free speech.
Sure.
And that was a concern from both Republicans and Democrats.
Well, if you're against, if you don't believe that Israel should be a state, that becomes anti-Semitic, according to this. And there are people that would say, in this case, by the way, there are Jewish citizens Jews who could be considered anti-Semites based on this. So I think it's dead in the Senate, but very interesting. But here, the big question is going to be, what are we going to see next week when it comes to Speaker Johnson? That's the biggie, and we have to sit and wait to see what happens.
Right, yes. And I think the big question next week is, well, how many Republicans are going to vote for it? I think the thought is that with Democrat leadership now saying that they're going to support tabling the motion to vacate, then, they're going to have no issues keeping Johnson from being ousted. But if a number of Democrats support, keeping Johnson in office, and then you also see at least a couple of Republicans vote to oust him, what kind of drama is that going to create in the conference? Because there are those who believe that they don't like the idea of Democrats saving Johnson because, he's supposed to be elected by the Republican majority, not a majority of Democrats and Republicans.
Wild. Okay, we'll see what happens next week. We'll talk next week. Ryan, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Very, very interesting as to what goes on. And, the thing to keep track of is this is an election year.
Yep.
And all these guys are going to be facing the voters. And maybe that's part of the reason why they may feel they have to oppose Johnson, because they have a majority of people in their district who feel like, he's working with Democrats now. You have to vote against him. So very interesting. We'll see what happens.
The chaos continues.
The chaos continuing. Special guest on line one. Is that what you're saying to me, Davey? Hi, good morning. You are on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know what tomorrow is by any chance?
Let's see. Tomorrow is May the 4th. Be with you.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you,
And
Jar
the
Jar.
day after that, hey, Miguel, the tequila man and the Dos Equis man, it's holy.
Okay.
It's May the 5th.
It's May the 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
Mayo, man.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
God.
Do you know what Monday is?
No.
6 de Mayo.
Yeah, right.
Hey, there's a beer out there called 21st Amendment Hell or High Water Melon Beer.
Oh.
It's brewed in San Francisco. I don't know if you can get it around here, if it's distributed.
All right, we'll have to check and see. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Sounds good, though.
That was an amazing Yoda. Wow.
Jar Jar Binks, I think.
Jar Jar Binks. That was an amazing something.
No, that was Yoda.
That was Yoda.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
All right, that's good. All right, man, you have a wonderful day and a great weekend. Enjoy the weather's not going to be bad for tomorrow. It looks like cloudy and high 70s. So,
thank you, Obi Bill Kenobi.
Okay. All right, thank you there, Yoda.
Bye,
have
Yoda.
a great day. May the 4th be with you tomorrow. That is
the
tomorrow.
Kentucky Derby is tomorrow, too.
Tomorrow is the Kentucky Derby. The mint juleps will be flowing. Ever have one of those?
No.
Mint juleps?
No, I never will.
You might be able to. You might be able to pull it off without any alcohol or by using NA.
What's the point, I guess?
Alcohol, and I guess that's the deal. Davey, did you see that Bell is going to be staying with Syracuse?
Yep, so it's Starling and Chris Bell and J.J. Starling are the only ones that I'm going to know. And the big guy that played in the Citron
That guy,
game.
that was with Citron at the wheelchair event, and he is, what, 7'4"? 7'4".
He's
Holy
7 foot.
moly.
Doesn't really matter at that point.
Word of life, the father has now been released from prison. What do we know about this one?
Well, it's only been less than 10 years since the incident happened, and he is out, and there's only Tiffany Irwin and Sarah Ferguson left in prison as a result of the beating death of, I believe.
Turn my mic off, please.
I can, but that's when you do that, try to talk quickly because you kill all of our headphones. Okay. We can't hear anything when you do that. But I'm going to shut your mic off, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, Davey's mic is off. Yes, Andrew. So it's been less than 10 years
Less than 10 years.
Hard to believe that it's
almost been that long.
That it's at least long enough for him to be released on, I'm assuming, good behavior. But this is this was a terrible story. And one of those stories that is a handful of stories for us in this area that have garnered worldwide and nationwide attention because it was just such a disturbing story. But it shows you, once again, we talk about this baby reindeer. It shows you how the human mind can be manipulated into
some odd stuff.
Into believing a certain way, and this belief at this church, it seemed that that there was one leader in the church who would be able to say this behavior is bad, whatever that behavior was, and that this behavior is bad, and here's how we're going to handle it.
Yeah. It was an electrical cord.
We're going to beat these kids until they confess. And I remember DA Scott McNamara saying, they said that there was a sexual abuse. This is what they were claiming.
They were alleging that the boys
had done. But he said you have to understand, with this very, very strict religious group, a touching. Innocently touching, or a kiss,
it could have been a pat on the back,
or dancing, or all these things could be considered anti-religious or a sin and an act against God. So I don't know what really happened, but we do know that one of those kids died.
Yeah, one of the whatever their sin was led to them being beat to death. One of them being beat to death, Lucas Leonard and Christopher Leonard. Getting beaten and then having to live with the aftermath of what happened, that his own parents had violently assaulted him, essentially, for whatever it was that happened. And the fact that it was your own parents had to have been another layer of complication to his mental state now going forward. It's really a sad story.
It is a horrific story, there's no doubt.
2 more people remain incarcerated, and I don't know how many total people were ended up facing consequences, but he was only sentenced to 10 years.
Yeah.
So good behavior.
McDonald's is now creating, I believe what they're saying is their biggest burger yet. And it'll be a burger that I think will become a part of their regular lineup. It's being tested currently and could become a part of their regular lineup. What I mean by that is the cheeseburger, the hamburger, the Big Mac, those all have a burger that is a certain size. And it is odd in this day and age to hear that there's a fast food company out there considering making their burger bigger. This is at a time where everybody seems
shrinking. Yeah.
Everybody seems to be sneaking in something that is that's smaller.
So what you're saying is they're going to go back to a size burger that it used to be.
Well, I don't know. They're saying this would be the largest they have ever served.
All right.
So
we'll see.
Take that for what it is. But as I'm looking at this beautiful photo of the Big Mac, I'm craving it and trying to think, could I remove the and what do they call the buns? Did you work at McDonald's?
No.
The buns there's the crown, that'd be the top. Yep. The heel is the bottom. And then I guess it's just the middle in the Big Mac. So remember, you have 3 buns on the Big Mac.
Mm-hmm.
So for my 3 layers of buns. And in my diet, you can't eat the bread.
So, I mean,
but I could eat the burger.
There's still a good amount of stuff on that.
There's still a lot. It's loaded up.
You remove the buns.
I'm craving it. What else is in the news, although I'm not sure that's quite necessarily qualifies for being in the news. But there we go. For the 16th straight season, which network do you think, broadcast television, which network has won prime time 16 straight weeks in a row? You ready to take a stab at this? This is my transition into Willie Waffle, who's coming up in a second.
Primetime, ABC.
And there's by the way, there's a new Netflix movie that I think is going to be really, really awesome. We'll see. You're wrong with ABC. The answer is
CBS.
CBS. 16 straight weeks at number one. And you remember this came with a primetime that was all messed up, right? Because we started the season off in the fall, with the strike and actors and writers not able to create new material.
On television.
There was a lot of garbage. By the way, Quattro de Mayo. Happy Quattro de Mayo today. We'll do Willy Waffles coming up in it doesn't seem to be for you right now.
I know. I think it's the 3rd.
Your hair might be taller than I've ever seen it.
Well, what happened was I'm getting a haircut today.
Okay.
So he doesn't like me to put any product in it on haircut day.
Okay.
So
without product, this is what when I look at when I see your hair like that, I can only imagine what your back is like. We'll and I don't want to imagine.
It's patchy.
We'll break. Willy Waffle coming right up at WIBX.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Gold rose significantly in the past 5 presidential election years. This election year, gold is up 15%. Don't believe paid celebrity hype on buying gold? Call America's gold expert, Dr. Mike Fulgens at Universal Coin and Bullion for my free award-winning gold guide. I've advised attorneys general on consumer protection. Don't overpay, as I won't add ridiculous markups. Call Dr. Fulgens. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
Have you or anyone you know ever lived or worked at Camp Lejeune before 1987? Camp Lejeune's water systems were contaminated by chloride from fuel leaks on the property. If you had any contact with water while at Camp Lejeune and have been diagnosed with any type of cancer or Parkinson's disease, you could be entitled to compensation. Call us today. Do not delay.
800-447-3030. 800-447-3030.
Paid for by Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF-certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Saturday, May 11th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents CNY on Stage Live. Join host Sydney Irving and her band The Mojo, American Idol contestant Ethan Harris, plus comedians, dance groups, a magician, and more. CNY on Stage Live, Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Tickets available at romecapital.com. Brought to you by the Rapke Law Firm, Tarduno Dental Office, and the Tucker family.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I don't know if you know, but today is National Paranormal Day, if you care about that. Which is stupid. Tomorrow is yes, May the 4th be with you, May 4th. Today is National
Star Trek.
No Pants Day. Not everybody can do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't even know how I do it. Anyway, today is National No Pants Day. I celebrated. I don't know if
I should have wore shorts.
Davey wore shorts today. Today is also National I Hate These Stupid Days Day. And on the line right now to help us celebrate, Willie Waffle. Good morning, Willie. Good morning.
Isn't it amazing? There's a day for just about everything because everybody wants their special moment, but they have to share it with 20 other people.
That's exactly right. That is absolutely right. Yeah, I know.
So speaking really quick of the no pants thing, you know that there was a cruise being offered on Norwegian in February that's clothing optional. Nobody wants to go on that cruise.
Oh, yeah,
No.
they do.
No.
It was bad enough. We were in we were in one of the ports, and there was a ship that was a German cruise line across from our ship, and
That
you
has
looked out on the deck, and there's people butt naked.
Nude. Yeah. They're all, and the people who do the nude thing are all people that you would rather not see nude.
Exactly.
Right, Willie? I mean, that's what happens.
Totally true. Okay,
Yeah.
it's some old man like me that weighs too much and just wants to have his freedom, and everybody's like, "No, we want you to put your pants back on."
There's only one thing I hate more than a mirror, and that is the nude deck on a cruise ship. It's just something.
The clothing optional is excluded from the dining areas. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Health
Yeah.
codes, baby, health codes.
Yeah.
That would be something, because right now on a cruise, when you walk into the dining area, they make you use hand sanitizer and wash your hands and everything. So, all right, hard to believe that you have to make people do that. Nonetheless, Willie, I am so. First of all, did you get into any of the baby reindeer?
Oh God, totally.
Holy.
This is like one of the. This is one of the best shows I've seen on Netflix in a long time.
Yeah. Wow. And mind-blowing, disturbing. I'm trying to think of other adjectives.
It was just like edge of your seat, like want to see the next episode, binge-worthy to the extreme.
It was. But it was depressing, too.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It's sad. I mean, it's an excellent series, and like you said, it really does hit so many different emotions, and you feel for this guy and what he's been through. You feel for the stalker as you learn more about her, and I don't know if you've seen this, but people have decided they wanted to track her down. They wanted to know who the real
I was
stalker
trying to do that.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now she's like flipping out. She's talking about how her privacy's been invaded, and she's trying to just get
That's
out
rich.
from under all this.
Yeah.
Well, Willie,
and I also would like to know what he's doing these days. Because you get the feeling like he's out stalking somebody.
Yeah, right.
Or her stalking her.
Yeah, there was a depressing. It was a powerful performance by the actor who played the guy. When he did the stand-up set and he just kind of let it all loose in front of her. That was a big
something.
moment.
And then I also thought it was amazing when he, and I don't want to spoil this, but when he was revealing to his parents and then his father said what
made
he
the
said.
revelation, yeah.
Wow. So anyway, enough of that. It's Baby Reindeer. It is extremely disturbing.
Yeah, Bill was 2 episodes in and said, you should all watch this, and then came back and said,
Got my mother watching it. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, what have I done? All right, but let me move on. We always have to keep looking forward. I am so excited, and I hope you're not going to throw water on my my joy and happiness. Cold, horrible water, the unfrosted.
Ah, yes, Jerry Seinfeld's big movie. Yes, the creation of Pop-Tarts, but not really. It is a zany kind of farcical look at the battle between Post and Kellogg's, the cereal giants of the 1960s, and how each one is trying to develop something even greater, something bigger than even cereal, something that will disrupt breakfast for all time.
Yeah.
They're trying to develop the Pop-Tarts.
Well, now I'm assuming this whole thing didn't really happen. However, it's almost a parody of the battle these companies go to create something big. Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a complete farce and parody of the business world. And, Jerry Seinfeld playing the executive at Kellogg's who kind of has the idea and wants to develop it. And, all the crazy people that are involved, all the scientists and the other executives, Jim Gaffigan playing the lead of Kellogg's, Amy Schumer playing the lead of Post, and kind of weird things that they create, like the milk mafia, the way the mascots are unionizing and thinking about striking. I mean, just over the top kind of goofy things. And it's funny. I feel like it's kind of safely funny. Like I feel like it made me laugh. I was entertained, but like there's nothing that I look back on it and I go, that was a brilliant joke, or that was a thought I never would have had. So I'm at like 2.5 waffles. I think it's a solid movie.
Worth seeing. Is it on Netflix right now?
Yes, totally on Netflix right now. You can flip it on and watch it right after the show.
Okay.
If you can get through all the ads for Baby Reindeer.
Okay, I know. Oh my God. What else do we have here? That most of what you're looking at is there's a lot of streaming. However, The Fall Guy is in theaters. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, this is your big theatrical release this week. This is the start of the summer movie season, and you've got Ryan Gosling playing a stuntman who gets a job working on his ex-girlfriend's directorial debut, played by Emily Blunt, but the lead actor has disappeared, and now Ryan Gosling has to find out, where did he go, and can he get him back? And, yes, it's a takeoff on the 80s series, The Fall Guy, in the sense that they use the same character names. He's a stuntman. He, in the series, he was more of a bounty hunter. Here he's kind of solving mysteries. He's more of a detective. But, it's a fun, silly, action-packed movie.
Yeah.
And frankly, the chemistry between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling works. Like, usually in these movies, the love story is the biggest piece of junk in the whole thing.
Right.
Because you just want to see the action. You want to see the fight scenes. But here it really works. I'm at 3.5 waffles for The Fall Guy.
Wow. The Idea of You. This is Amazon Prime. Which, by the way, Amazon confuses me. Because half the stuff is free, and then all of a sudden, even though you have Amazon Prime, they want to charge you for other stuff. Anyway, I'm assuming this is part of your Amazon Prime package.
Yes, this is if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get to watch this one for free, as opposed to they deliver a lot of videos on demand.
Yes,
that you rent for like $9.99 or $3.99 or whatever the going price is.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have the biggest how do we say the wish fulfillment movie of the summer. It is a 40-year-old Anne Hathaway, a single mom, who ends up in a chance romance with a 24-year-old boy band pop hottie.
Wow.
Yeah, and on the surface you're thinking, oh, this is like, big fluffy summer entertainment. All the ladies are going to love, seeing the movie about the older lady who scores the hot young babe. But it's a lot deeper than that. And it moves beyond that, and it really becomes more about the different worlds that these people are coming from and the struggles that they're having, and how for this brief moment, this chance meeting, they have found maybe something special, something that fulfills each other. I'm at 3 waffles. I thought it was solid.
Okay, you like it.
I was surprised, and I think it's because Anne Hathaway's so good.
Yeah,
I mean, she's just a really great actress, and let's face it, she does. She's a very beautiful woman. It is very believable that many people would fall in love with her. But she does a great job, kind of playing a woman whose life has really kicked her around. She's divorced. She's trying to take care of her kid. She makes that much more believable than you think she would.
Is she 40 in that range? I guess
I think in real life, yes, she's around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I have about 2 minutes, so I want you to pick what you want to talk about. Scooby-Doo Just Won't Die. Peacock raising prices again. Can you believe it? And a third. We'll skip the Tron movie with Jeff Bridges. Let's start with Scooby-Doo. Sorry.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. It's been an animated series. It's been a live-action movie. It's been an animated movie. They just won't let it go. They keep bringing back Scooby-Doo in every incarnation they can possibly imagine. And Netflix said, yeah, we'll do it too. So now Netflix is working on a live-action version of Scooby-Doo, and they're doing it with the guy who brought you the Dead Boy Detective series. It's a script-to-series deal. Once they write the script, Netflix will review it and decide if they want to do the series. They're probably going to do it. So Scooby-Doo, here we go again.
Okay. I guess I might.
Kids will love it.
I might like it. I even might like it. And what's Peacock doing? Remember Peacock when it first came out? It was like free, wasn't it? You didn't have to pay.
They had a free version where you watched all the ads and stuff. Yeah, well, the Summer Olympics are right around the corner, and the bean counters saw their opportunity. They're like, I bet more people are going to subscribe because of the Olympics.
Right.
Well, let's jack up the prices.
Interesting. Okay.
Over the summer, just in time for the Olympics, all the price packages are going up another $2 per month.
So I never thought about this, but they're going to be able to utilize Peacock. I'm running out of time, by the way. They're going to be able to utilize Peacock to show all different events. It's going to be very interesting. It may be the most televised we've ever seen. So, Willie, have a great week. Enjoy next week. We'll talk real soon. Thank you.
All right, see you soon.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIDX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIDX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Another encampment cleared at another college campus. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It happened just in the last hour. At New York University, where NYPD officers arrived around 6 a.m., Fox's Molly Lyons there in Manhattan.
They came equipped with their helmets, batons, moved very quickly through this encampment. The people were rising, getting out of their tents, and in less than a half an hour, they have basically moved all of the people back all the way through down this walkway next to the Paulson Center and out the back of this kind of narrow alleyway between two buildings. The tents, of course, left behind, all of the rubbish and the signs and the things here as they've created kind of a line here. But the people that had been in these tents that were roused when the officers arrived have essentially been moved out to the back of this area.
Now, the day after, it took police hours to clear out an encampment at UCLA, clashing with student protesters. President Biden spoke out against violence in the anti-Israel encampments.
There's the right to protest, but not the right to cause chaos.
Also saying we can't tolerate hate speech and threats against Jewish students. Former President Trump will soon return to court in New York City as his first criminal trial resumes, the day after the jury heard his voice in testimony. Fox's Eric Shawn was there.
It was a dramatic moment late yesterday afternoon here at Manhattan Criminal Court as the voices of Trump and Michael Cohen echoed in the cavernous courtroom. Secret recordings made between the two that Cohen made on his iPhone's voice memo app 2 months before the November presidential election in 2016. Trump can be heard talking about paying with cash for the deal to silence Playboy playmate Karen McDougal's claims of their affair. But the defense will point out there is no mention of the alleged conspiracy to influence the election, and they can also claim it was a standard non-disclosure agreement that he was making.
The former president's charged with falsifying records and pain is to keep Stormy Daniels quiet. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
President Biden will honor 19 Americans today with the Presidential Medal of Freedom,
including former Vice President Al Gore, former Secretary of State John Kerry, and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Olympian Katie Ledecky, the most decorated female swimmer in history, is also receiving the medal, as is Jim Thorpe, who died in 1953, is the first Native American to win Olympic gold. Medgar Evers is also receiving the award posthumously. The World War II veteran and civil rights activist was murdered in 1963. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
We'll get a key update to the economy next hour.
The April jobs report is expected to show that the labor market cooled, but hiring remains solid despite high interest rates and stubborn inflation. Economists are forecasting that employers added 240,000 jobs during the month, a decline from the 303,000 gain in March and the smallest amount in 5 months, while the unemployment rate for April is expected to hold steady at 3.9%.
Fox's Hillary Barsky on Wall Street. Ahead of that, stock futures are rising in the NBA playoffs.
Hield throws it up. It's off. Clark rebounds, and it's over. This war of attrition is won by the Knicks.
2 first-round playoff series came to an end last night, a classic in Philadelphia.
And the Knicks survive it. They defeat the Sixers 118-115 and win it in 6 games.
On TNT, their next opponent,
the Indiana Pacers, tasting postseason success for the first time in 10 years as they are moving on to the semifinals.
On TNT, the Pacers blew out the Bucks in Game 6 in Indianapolis, 120-98.
That's Fox's Jared Max. On the ice, Toronto beat Boston 2-1 to force a Game 7 in that NHL playoff series. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good Friday morning. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. A father who helped beat 2 of his sons at the Word of Life Church in Oneida County has been released from state prison. Bruce Leonard and others attacked and also whipped Lucas Leonard and Christopher Leonard in October of 2015. Lucas Leonard passed away just hours later, and his father was sentenced to 10 years behind bars. A total of 9 people were charged for their roles in the beatings. Plans have been announced for the upcoming Belmont on Broadway Festival in Saratoga Springs. The event begins June 4th and will feature a free concert the next day by Grammy Award-winning band Blues Traveler. There are going to be a variety of events leading up to the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga Racecourse June 8th, including a window decorating contest involving local businesses and the Belmont Gala. It's estimated the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival itself will generate $50 million for the region. Of course, the Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. Get your mint juleps and your hats out. A 1 in a million birth happened in Boonville. Hunter Huck Farms announced 2 healthy but extremely rare twin foals born 2 weeks ago. Only 9% of all twin pregnancies are carried to term, and of that number, just 14.5% of twins are born alive. The odds of both foals surviving to adulthood are even slimmer, which is why one of the Welsh pony foals is called Millie, short for 1 in a million. Owner Chrissy Southwick said Millie was 20 pounds when she was born, while her brother Johnny Walker was almost 60 pounds. You can read more about them online at WIBX950.com. New legislation to combat fentanyl has passed. The Fentanyl Eradication and Narcotics Deterrence Off Fentanyl Act was announced by Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, and she says the legislation will help combat the country's fentanyl crisis by giving authorities more power to stop the flow of illegal drugs through our border. The law also increases sanctions against cartels and lets the Treasury Department go after money laundering activities that are linked to fentanyl. Fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine and is a major contributor to overdose deaths. And Southwest Airlines will be required to offer $75 travel vouchers for certain cancellations and delays. This comes after the company suffered what some call a holiday meltdown in 2022. The U.S. Transportation Department announced this week the airline will need to give compensation as part of a deal reached after the incident that stranded millions of passengers across the country. Flyers can get a Southwest LUV voucher if their flight is canceled or delayed within a week of departure, or if they arrive 3 or more hours later than planned. However, they are not eligible for the voucher if the flight is affected by factors out of the airline's control, like weather. It's 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center. I'm Mike Johnson. Today, sunny and a mix of clouds and pleasant, high 75. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 53. Tomorrow, clouds with showers, more likely in the afternoon, high 66. And Sunday, a near 100% chance of rain, high 58. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson from the Weather Center, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 48 degrees under clear skies. It is 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The New York Knicks are in the second round of the NBA playoffs after squeaking out a 118-115 win over the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 6 from the Wells Fargo Center. New York will face the Indiana Pacers in round 2 after they eliminated the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. The Stankies dropped their series finale against the Baltimore Orioles after falling 7-2 at Camden Yards. Carlos Rodon suffered his second loss of the season after allowing 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 8 hits over 4 innings pitched. Absolutely terrible. New York is now second in the AL East at 20-13 and will host the Detroit Tigers for a 3-game set that begins tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Mets, meanwhile, walked off the Cubs with a 7-6 victory in 11 innings to split their 4-game series at Citi Field. Adrian Hauser started the game and allowed 4 runs on 4 hits over 5 innings. Danny Young was credited with the win after allowing an unearned run over an inning of relief. New York is now third in the NL East at 16-15. They'll visit the Tampa Bay Rays for a 3-game set that begins tonight from Tropicana Field. Division rivals are getting ready to square off in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Carolina Hurricanes are restricting ticket sales for their home games against the New York Rangers to fans from North Carolina, South Carolina, and select parts of Virginia. As of Thursday, there were no ticket restrictions for Madison Square Garden. New York will host Carolina for games 1 and 2, as well as 5 and 7 if necessary. The reason behind that, similar to the Wells Fargo Center, New York fans, they travel, and a lot of people who are from New York have moved to other states. So what happens? The New York team fans kind of go in and invade an opposing team's stadium or arena. And, yeah, right? They're restricting the tickets.
That. Yeah.
You can't buy these tickets. We don't want you to cheer for
That's basically telling you your fans are...
They hate you.
Well, they're not great fans.
They're not loyal, right?
And or your fans are slow. That's the only thing I can think.
Yeah, they're not quick to get the ticket.
New York, life in New York is fast. It's very fast. Right. It's like, wait a minute, I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to buy my tickets. They apparently fear that their people can't compete.
Yeah.
The Carolinians.
And that's the thing. If you're going to Madison Square Garden as a Hurricanes fan, you're going to be quiet. You're going to be very quiet and subdued. Woo!
That's right. That's right. Are you done?
I'm done.
I wanted to throw a few comments in here on the stuff that's going on in the world.
In the world.
This is very interesting. This is from Dick in Deerfield, talking about this new anti-Semitism law that they wanted. The House has passed, and I just, there are some Republicans that are against it, and there's a pretty good sized number of Republicans that are against it, even though it has passed. So, because who wants to be the person voting against Jews?
Right.
That's really kind of how people feel. But in reality, I kind of feel like it may, on the surface, from what we know, it feels like it just goes a little bit too far. But, my guess is it probably won't get through the Senate, but who knows? But Dick in Deerfield says now this is unbelievable, because listening to Kilmeade earlier in the week, he had a Jewish professor on from Columbia who was talking about the bigotry that has gone on over the years.
Right.
And one of the elements, or one of the stages of bigotry that exists is bigotry from Christians. And let's think about it.
Well,
I mean, Hitler was a Christian, but historically the belief is
they killed Jesus.
The Jews killed Jesus.
Yes.
So, and listen to this. Dick says he saw a report where some GOP members quoted in the media say they believe that Jews killed Jesus and that the anti-Semitism bill, which includes such claims in its definition, would outlaw parts of the Bible.
I don't know how you can outlaw the Bible.
Would that mean you couldn't bring a Bible onto campus because it would be...
Or are you saying you can't claim that the Jews killed Jesus?
That's what some are saying. That's what Dick's saying. That's what Dick is saying. Some are saying. So that's interesting. The Adirondack Thunder, the ECHL affiliate of the Utica Comets and New Jersey Devils, have advanced to round 2 of the Kelly Cup playoffs after defeating the Maine Mariners Wednesday night 2-0. And that comes from Fred in Clinton.
Isaac Poulter, who played several games in Utica, was in goal for Adirondack.
Yep.
Round 2 of the Kelly Cup playoff starts tonight for Adirondack when they face off against the Norfolk Admirals at 7 p.m. at the Cool Insuring Arena, formerly the Glens Falls Civic Center. Interesting note, there were times this past season when all the players on the ice for Utica were recent call-ups from the Adirondack Thunder.
That's interesting. Let's see. That's really very, very... I guess I didn't realize there was a team underneath the Comets.
I didn't either.
And that plays in New York. Davey, you knew all about it, though, right? You're all on
and
it.
You kept it from us.
Sure did.
Yeah. The Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. It's going to be obviously a big day. It's a big betting day for a lot of people who bet horses.
And Scott's ready.
I really don't understand the whole horse betting thing. Whenever I go to like Saratoga,
I always lose.
Just like I'd be better off just saying, here, take this money. And you do what you want with it, and if it's profitable, share it with me. I'd be far better off.
You don't.
I don't know what I don't know the horses. I don't know what I kind of like West Saratoga, just because I like the name. But even in Rome, who
Kathy
Michigan State
Kathy in Rome, even there, this is where the confusion comes in. She's picked a horse for tomorrow.
It's been scratched.
And Scott says the horse has been scratched. It's not even going to be racing tomorrow.
Poor Kathy.
It broke it raced about 3 weeks ago, and it came up one of its legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And to be honest with you,
no time, she said. That was no time.
No time. Out of time.
Out of time.
Out of time.
The problem is with Saratoga is not so much the money you lose on the bets that you aren't successful in.
Saratoga's expensive.
The food and drinks are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, Saratoga, it's on its own, has become like New York City North on a much smaller scale. It's a hopping town, though. Saratoga's come a long way. Job interviews are a hotbed for lawsuits.
Yeah, they are.
How is that? We'll explain coming up in a second. Stand by. Coming right back at WIBX.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between between identity and illusion.
From the timeless hilarity of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance to the gripping drama of Pagliacci.
Celestial escapades of La Callisto and intriguing mystery of Elizabeth Cree. Experience the magic firsthand.
The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, and world-class opera and musical theater. Just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival. Then join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
Are you prepared for the future? Help secure your family's financial well-being with professional guidance. Join us for a complimentary estate planning workshop presented by the DiGiorgio Law Firm with Phil DiGiorgio. Discover the key to creating a customized estate plan to protect assets and minimize taxes. Mark your calendar for 5:30 p.m. May 14th at the office of the DiGiorgio Law Firm, located at 258 Genesee Street in Utica. Space is limited, so RSVP today.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Gold rose significantly in the past 5 presidential election years. This election year, gold is up 15%. Don't believe paid celebrity hype on buying gold. Call America's gold expert, Dr. Mike Fulgens, at Universal Coin and Bullion for my free award-winning gold guide. I've advised attorneys general on consumer protection. Don't overpay, as I won't add ridiculous markups. Call Dr. Fulgens. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say gold expert. That's pound 250 and say gold expert.
Saturday, May 11th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents CNY On Stage Live. Join host Sydney Irving and her band The Mojo, American Idol contestant Ethan Harris, plus comedians, dance groups, a magician, and more. CNY On Stage Live, Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Tickets available at romecapital.com. CNY On Stage Live is part of the Capitol Arts Complex Local Arts and Music Showcase during the month of May.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1907 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1907p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 100 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1907 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1907 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand.
To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077.
Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order.
Call 1-800-973-3077 now
to secure your 1907p $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out.
That's 1-800-973-3077.
Saturday, May 11th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents CNY On Stage Live. Join host Sydney Irving and her band The Mojo, American Idol contestant Ethan Harris, plus comedians, dance groups, a magician, and more. CNY On Stage Live, Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Tickets available at romecapital.com. Brought to you by Baird Private Wealth Management, Entertainment Services of New York, and Grace Musicians Management Group.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
This is really one of my favorite songs of kind of all time.
Every time I think that I'm the only one who's lonely, someone calls on me.
Unfortunately, YouTube won't let us play it. So Andrew sings it off in the distance. Job interviews. It's very interesting. I would bet that many years ago I learned there are certain things you can't ask in a job interview.
Right.
I've asked some really interesting questions when I've conducted job interviews.
Back in ye old day.
And here's something else that's really interesting. A job interview led to a marriage for me, right? Because my wife became my producer, and then ultimately, well, I mean, she wasn't my wife, but then ultimately you know the story.
Yep.
Nonetheless, probably all that would wind up with a lawsuit today, I'm afraid. On the line right now is a legal expert. His specialty is in employment law, Javier Perez on the line now. Javier, good morning. So would you agree that, some of the inappropriate questions we may have asked 20 years ago would wind up in a lawsuit today?
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. And I think we are much more aware and sensitive about these kinds of things, and absolutely more lawsuits.
Yeah. So when you say job interviews are a hotbed for lawsuits, what are we talking about? Is it stuff like this?
It is, but it really is sort of an indication of why a decision not to hire somebody ultimately happened. And that's really the key.
So there could be some discrimination that is documented.
That's right. That's right. I think it's some indication that this person was interested in a certain topic, and then whatever decision they ultimately make, naturally it looks like that was related. So common one, as I think has been noted, is, are you going to be having children in the near future? How old are you? Seems like a benign question, but can often kind of hint that there may be a concern about the person's age. Those are the sorts of things that, just kind of raise an eyebrow. And I think we can kind of sense that. But really when the rubber hits the road is, okay, did that person ultimately get hired or not?
Right. Today I guess it is quite interesting because there are all these areas of discrimination that have some sort of a lawsuit attached to it, showing a bit of legal history. So are companies better off going with, I know I think my son was recently, probably not recently, but a few years ago was hired. He had to take an online or a computer test, which was almost a personality test. There were questions that I don't even know why they asked this question, but there was a reason. Are companies better off going that route and getting a third party to assist?
I think, as there are a higher volume of applicants, there does need to be some kind of screening based on more objective measures, criteria, what have you. But ultimately, my kind of personal feeling is that you're going to have to work with these people.
Yeah.
And if you're going to need to be kind of see them every day, you want to kind of size them up in person. You want to kind of get that gut feeling. Is this person, an oddball or someone that I could see myself working with? So I think it's, we're talking about people-to-people jobs. It's hard to kind of replace that piece of the interview process with something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's so many things that a person can allege or accuse somebody of, a prospective employer, if they don't get hired nowadays. It seems like it's hard to keep up with as an employer, what you can and can't ask.
Well, and what your former employer can and cannot say. That's also interesting.
Absolutely. And I think, trying to stick to the things that matter to the job itself is kind of best practice.
Yeah.
And what a past employer has said about this person is really more of an issue. I guess it's an issue for both, but I would be more worried about the past employer, saying something they weren't supposed to say. But a lot of sophisticated employers, have a hotline or have some sort of service in place that was only going to say the dates of that person's employment, what their job title was, potentially what their pay was, and really just kind of those sort of basic things to eliminate what a rogue manager or someone that had a bad taste left in their mouth would potentially say.
Right. Yeah. Okay. There are employers out there. I knew one person who was in charge of hiring had a checklist. And if any one of those boxes on his list were checked, that would disqualify the person. I mean, it's a pretty rigid policy to have, but that was the way he did it, and he swore by that process of eliminating people that would be potentially hireable. You would think they're hireable, but they blew it because they did something in that interview that made him check one of those boxes.
Yeah, I mean that is at least trying to be consistent,
Yeah,
right? In this
yeah.
process, everyone's kind of judged by the same measure. I just going to make sure those measures are things that are permissible and not over X age. If that's one of the eliminating criteria, then obviously that's asking for trouble.
She came into the office and her skirt line was above the knee. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That does it for me. I'm sorry.
She wasn't wearing a turtleneck.
Right.
Yeah, right. You just don't know.
Yeah.
But man, the world has changed so much. Javier, I don't know how you keep up with it.
We do our best.
Man, well,
I mean,
listen.
it's like, how many times do you get a client come into your office? I don't know what I did.
Yeah, I know. Well,
right.
Interesting stuff. Javier Perez, thank you. We'll do this again. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you all for having me.
Have a
good
great
one.
day. Thanks. It is, just think of the things. I was once told that the reason I made less than somebody else, this was early on, is because he had a wife and kids and I didn't.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right? He needs more money than you need. It's like, are you kidding me?
What about if I want to have a wife and kids?
Far superior to this person. And they're making more money than I'm making because they have kids. Well, that stuff does happen.
They have dependents.
That does happen. All right, we have Hobica's free money question of the day coming up in a second. And Davey, this morning,
$500 you were telling me?
Hobica yesterday. I got a whole earful of Hobica yesterday. Ooh.
Sorry, Joe.
But listen, I say stand your ground. Stand your ground. Don't be a baby here. Don't be a wuss. Don't let him intimidate you. How much
He's the one that told me to keep an eye on you on the other night when I saw him.
Yeah, well, now he's keeping an eye. He's told me to keep an eye on you. Yeah. So,
Keep
Davey,
that mic muzzled.
what is now? Don't be a wuss here. People are going to think you're a wuss if you go if you just completely
If you're just too scared.
Okay. What are we giving away potentially today? What's the amount?
$200.
Wow, he's
All
got some
right.
gusto. Davey's got some
Little
gusto
guts,
in there.
little guts.
I like it.
And going with caller number 12.
Caller number 12. Are we ready to do that now? Let's. I want Andrew to do news first, so don't call
sorry,
now.
sorry.
Andrew will do an update, and then we'll get to all that. So, but it's going to be $200 this morning on the line. We're kicking off May with a. We've had a May winner, haven't we? Did we have a winner in May yet?
Yeah.
No, it was the end of April. We had a winner.
Was it? Okay.
So it was Tuesday, I believe. All right, we'll do this coming up in a second. It's $200 on the line. Stand by. We'll come right back here at WIBX.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PIPE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PIPE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Have you or anyone you know ever lived or worked at Camp Lejeune before 1987? Camp Lejeune's water systems were contaminated by chloride from fuel leaks on the property. If you had any contact with water while at Camp Lejeune and have been diagnosed with any type of cancer or Parkinson's disease, you could be entitled to compensation. Call us today. Do not delay.
800-447-3030. 800-447-3030.
Paid for by Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:33. I'm Andrew Derminio. It is close to 50 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A father who helped beat two of his sons at the Word of Life Church in Oneida County has been released from state prison. Bruce Leonard and others attacked and whipped Lucas Leonard and Christopher Leonard in October 2015 with an electrical cord. Lucas Leonard ended up passing away just hours later, and his father was sentenced to 10 years behind bars. A total of 9 people were ultimately charged for their roles in the beatings. No injuries have been reported after a pickup truck slammed into the garage of a home in Cicero. Authorities say the truck was traveling on Mud Mill Road yesterday when the driver swerved and ended up colliding with the structure. The impact caused part of the garage to collapse onto the pickup truck. Just what triggered the crash is being looked into, and witnesses can contact investigators at 315-699-3677. Another country music star has been added to the lineup of this year's New York State Fair. Dax will be taking the Chevy Park stage on Sunday, August 25th at 6 p.m. He's best known for his #1 hit, Dear Alcohol, and other songs, including Joker and To Be a Man. Admission to this concert is included in the cost of a daily ticket to the fair, which runs from August 21st through September 2nd. It's Bicycle Safety Month, and the State Department of Motor Vehicles is urging people who drive, walk, or bike to share the road safely. The agency has issued tips to make that happen, including asking drivers to check blind spots of their vehicles before turning or parallel parking. They should also reduce speed when passing a bicyclist to ensure riders aren't knocked off balance. Additional safety recommendations can be found online at trafficsafety.ny.gov. Also, Sheriff Rob Maciel and other county officials held a press conference yesterday to promote slow-moving tractor safety, not only reminding motorists to use caution in rural areas as growing season is underway, but also for the tractors to make sure they have the reflective triangle in the proper places on their tractors or implements. You can read that full story at WIBX950.com. And Japan Airlines is reporting the cancellation of a flight from Dallas to Tokyo last week after its pilot reportedly got drunk and became disruptive. Not a passenger, the pilot. After the 23rd of April flight was canceled, the airline placed the 157 passengers on other flights. The 49-year-old pilot's name has not been released. He reportedly drank with fellow crew members at a restaurant, then at the hotel bar, and then in his room. He became so loud and disruptive, hotel staff called police around 2 a.m. The airline canceled the flight as a precautionary measure.
What are you thinking if you're the pilot? At what point do you think it's going to be okay and no one's going to notice? I guess your judgment has been curbed by the alcohol.
Well, thank God that the disruptive nature happened in the hotel and not before he was. Yeah, because that's ultimately what the discovery was that he was drunk.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about the forecast because we have had a change in the forecast this morning.
Yes.
And so today,
meteorologist Mike Johnson is working on an updated forecast for us, but today it'll be mostly sunny, highs in the mid-70s.
Not bad.
Mostly cloudy.
Today looks pretty good.
Beautiful day.
There'll be some clouds, but a nice day, 75. And then tomorrow, looks like the weekend is not going to be the washout we thought it was going to be, and the rain's going to come in a little bit later than originally thought.
Only a slight chance of showers, and then partly sunny the rest of the day. Highs will be close to 70.
So you get more clouds and sun tomorrow, 70, and then it cools off.
Yeah.
And Sunday looks like it's a bit of a washout, as of right now anyway.
Right now it's 51 and sunny at 7:37.
All right, Davey, let's take caller number 5 for Hobica's free money question of the day. It's worth $200. Caller number 5 right now at 315-736-0186. Caller number 5. I'll do a quick break. 2 minutes, we'll do the contest. Caller 5 right now at WIBX.
Welcome to New York's newest hospital, the Wynn Hospital. Nationally recognized programs for heart and stroke care, sophisticated and innovative treatments and intervention by renowned medical experts, all while providing education in the community to prevent disease. The Wynn Hospital, inspiring better health with a commitment to our community. This is for you. At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since, in respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun, because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you.
You know, today, $20 barely gets you a burger and fries, and maybe it'll get you a quarter tank of gas. But you know what it'll get you, though? For just $20 a month, you get unlimited talk and text and plenty of 5G data from my friends, my cell phone company, a veteran-owned company, Pure Talk. Now, you'll get the same quality of service that you get from the big carriers, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, but you get it for half the cost. Average family saving close to $1,000 a year. The same cell towers, same 5G network, no contracts, no activation fees. Now, you can bring your phone or get great deals on the latest iPhones and Androids, but make the switch today and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Now, choose a wireless company that shares your values, that supports our military, our vets, and who creates American jobs, and they refuse to advertise on fake news network. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, make the switch today so you can actually afford a burger and fries. Pound 250, keyword save now from Pure Talk.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, listen, every single morning that we're here, we do at this time Hobica's free money question of the day. Chance for somebody to win dough, money, cash. And this morning, Davey has boldly gone where Davey has not gone before. And that's $200. He's going with $200 today on the line. And on the phone line, ready to take a shot, Andrew, get yourself ready, is Brian in New Hartford. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
Good. We're doing well. This comes from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. And for all of your legal needs, call 315-724-1600, the Hobica Law Firm. Okay, Brian, here's how this goes. You're going to have exactly 7 seconds. And make sure you get your answer in there. And if you feel like maybe you don't know, just get a guess in, because we've had people guess and walk away winners. So you know the deal. All right, we ready to go, Brian?
Ready to go.
Andrew, you're ready to go.
I'm always ready.
Look at his hair.
It's like a tidal wave.
There's so much of it except for right in the back, which my fiance reminds me all the time.
He's got kind of
Too many
a
U-turns into the sheets.
A poof right up front there. It's unbelievable. Okay, here we go. Here is your question. 7 seconds. In the movie Forrest Gump, which Dwayne Eddy song was played? Ready and go.
I don't even have a good guess for that one.
Is it
Over the Rainbow?
Is it
Over the Rain? Is it Over the Rainbow?
Is it Rebel Rouser?
It is Rebel Rouser.
Yeah,
that was a song. I mean, and I thought you might have known, because that's the song everybody's talking about right now. He just died. Dwayne Eddy just died.
It's a great soundtrack. Forrest Gump soundtrack is one of the best.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. This is good at the at Aquavino, at Cookies, at the Odd, at Nexus, Taylor and the Cook, and the list goes on. At Babes as well. You can check it all out. Stand by. Davey Brian is going to hook you up, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Stand by. Do you want to hear a little Dwayne Eddy? Just to give you an idea. Dwayne Eddy was amazing in that he had the guitar with the large reverb, a lot of reverb on the guitar. Mm-hmm. And that style while he probably wasn't the biggest in the world, he wasn't. His style of playing guitar was pretty huge. Here's a little bit of an example of that, as he just recently. Oh, I haven't plugged myself back in, so I can't play it yet.
I could probably.
Well, don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll play in a second. We have and there's another death too in rock music, and that is the keyboardist from ELO has passed away.
Oh no!
Now that might not sound like that's a big deal, but you take the keyboard out of ELO, and there ain't no ELO.
Right, it's just LO.
Yeah, it's just LO. Yeah, so we'll get into that coming up in a second as well. In the studio right now is Paul Buckley.
Good morning.
The film czar.
Your first time back in the new studio.
Well, the
wow.
new studio is absolutely gorgeous. And I guess we're on early, but it's fine with me, so I can get my spiel out. But this is absolutely gorgeous in here. And I was listening to you on the way down here, William.
Okay.
Talking about the interviews and stuff like that. Now, is Allison suing you for entrapment or something like that?
Well, if you think about back in those days, the questions that we asked were now. Notice how I talk past tense about things that we did back then.
And we, as in you're putting the blame on Buck.
No, Paul still asks questions like that. Nothing has changed.
I have to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Nothing has changed for Paul.
No.
So, I mean, I you know the funny story, that the truth of the matter is I was looking for a producer. I interviewed a group of people. I picked the person who was bat blank crazy. Nuts. She had told us all these big stories that she worked for Letterman, and she actually all we found out within a week, the whole story was.
And you married her.
BS. That's my wife. After years of therapy, she became a school teacher, and now she's teaching kids how to lie.
Molding young minds.
No. What happened is I did the whole interview. Allison was second, and this person was first. I hired the other person, and then because I'm gonna get an interview with Dave. We're gonna have Dave on the air. If not Dave, I'll get Paul. So we're like, this is huge. So one day I walked in, and she's like, "Oh, Paul, you're so funny." She's talking on the phone.
Oh, my God.
She's talking to Paul Schaefer. I said, "Let me just say hi to him." No, I gotta go, Paul. And she hangs up the phone. So it got so bad that we ended up calling the Letterman show to see if they knew this person. And apparently she had been an intern there, but she did not write. She didn't
even go near.
At one point, she led everybody, when I worked in Providence, she led everybody out to Dave's house. They were all going to meet Dave Letterman, and he never showed. Turns out Dave didn't live there. Pathological liar.
Well, it turned out well for you.
So,
she's a keeper.
So I then called my wife, and I'm like, "Hey, you still want this job?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And boom, we ended up hitting it off, and
she's lovely.
Now she regrets every moment of our life together.
Yeah, my hiring story didn't end up like that, thank God. So.
The problem with Allison is she's not getting paid anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, honey, the money's dried up. Okay, Mr. Buckley. Good morning. Good morning.
And I have some friends with me. We'll introduce them later. But
okay.
I just want to get the May edition of City Limits is all about the hockey tournament, the Women's World's Hockey Tournament.
What a great event! Great event!
Oh my God! You know, I did the Olympics up in Placid back in '80, and I did all the hockey games there. I'm not gonna say that that was a long time.
Were you
ago.
working for like ABC?
No, I was working for film companies, Freewheeling Films and Gilbert Productions. But that was a long time ago, and no one wanted the hockey games because they had just gotten their butts kicked by I guess it was Washington or some other team, like 12-2 or 12 whatever it was. So I took all the hockey games, and I was there for all the gold medal, whatever.
Wow, you were there for the miracle. You were there for the Finland game.
I still got goosebumps when I hear that.
Yeah.
When I hear that.
Oh, the Russian game.
Yeah. I was all those games.
Wow,
and it was simply amazing. But this
at
thing.
At what point during that game did you think, I think these guys can win this?
Well, the Russian game was very, very tense. I mean, I was all clinched up and stuff like that. But
and now remember, we weren't watching that live.
Oh, I know.
That wasn't on TV.
I know.
It was it was going to be such a blowout that ABC didn't even carry the game.
Then it leaked out, and everybody. I think it was probably the most watched television event in the world.
There was a bulletin on the bottom. The U.S. is defeated The USSR.
The town went crazy.
That gives me chills to think about it today.
But this thing here, right here in our backyard, it was phenomenal. Rob Esch
It was
did
incredible.
a wonderful job. I got to tip my hat off to that guy. What a job he did, And as I said to him, I wanted to get on the show and say, here, do the old Field of Dreams. If you build it, they'll come.
Yes.
But I guess time ran out on that one.
It's so funny. Yesterday, I was just texting him, and I wanted to send him a little message because I hadn't done it as of yet. And I was texting him on the women's thing. He did such an incredible job. You should be so proud of everything that you've done, and thank you for all the work that you've put in and the things you've done. And all of a sudden, my phone went dead. And I'm like, maybe it's an omen. Maybe I shouldn't send it.
Don't send it.
So it's still in there. Maybe I'll hit send today. We'll see. We'll see.
But he had so many people. I mean,
it was incredible.
He had doctors, EMTs, everybody. They were like, I would say almost overstaffed, but the thing went so smoothly and so efficiently, and it was crazy. I mean, the ripple effect is that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that for my June show. The economic impact on this thing was just phenomenal. All the hotels were full, the restaurants. It was just it was great. And like I said, my hats off to Rob.
It does show you though that all of what has been built, and we can talk about Paseni's work and even back to Brindisi, all these pre-planning and the thoughts of all of this, and Griffo and everybody that has played a role in making this happen.
Oh, of course.
Boy, it's an economic driver now.
Oh my God, yes.
Big,
not done yet either.
And it's not done.
Yeah. So I asked Rob, one of the questions on the camera was, he played all over the world for many years. I mean, he did junior hockey, he did the Olympic team, did pro hockey. So all over the world, he saw how these things are done, and he brought those ideas. He translated it into his own and made this thing.
Incredible.
And this thing's a gold mine, absolute gold mine. Yep. He did a great job, and I can't commend him highly. He's very, very modest about the whole thing. It's amazing.
He is, and there are a lot of people that have played a big role in assisting, and that's all. Part of this whole thing.
Rob's Army. I mean, it was just huge, absolutely huge.
And you were there for most of it doing.
I was every day.
Taping.
Every day.
I saw you on TV often.
They wouldn't let me shoot any of the game footage.
Oh, but you're really. I saw you still got some.
Oh, you haven't seen the show yet. No, but I was.
He deactivated the red light on his camera.
I was up in the mezzanine doing all kinds of stuff, and it was amazing to watch these people. People you haven't seen before. They're from all over the world.
Yeah,
and they don't know how the auditorium works. So how you're walking. There's always a flow during one of our comic games, the Pioneer games.
Yes.
Well, these people are standing right in the goddamn hall. Pardon, I can't say that. Right in the middle of the hallway. Right in the middle of the hallway, and it just causing traffic jams. It was amazing. You couldn't move
Not
in the
knowing
mezzanine.
Where to go.
Exactly. You couldn't move in the mezzanine. So.
And how about the U.S. games? I mean, we're just packed. And also the other part of this, which has nothing to do with us, is the quality of hockey. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they're fast.
They were flying. They were
fast. Yeah.
And I had, like I said, I couldn't get any of the hockey footage, so I was I was on the outskirts or whatever you want to call it. And I did a thing with Hale Bus, and they brought all the girls everywhere. They stayed at the casino. They did everything. Yep. So I watched the ladies get off the buses, and Canadians, and the Americans, and the Swedes, and these women were dressed like they were going clubbing. They're absolutely gorgeous little girls.
I know.
And I'm thinking,
I saw them come to the Turning Stone and I was shocked by that. I'm like,
I said,
these do not look like hockey players.
And as soon as they put that little helmet on, they turn into the nastiest little things.
Yeah.
That's by design, right?
How about what's her name? Davey will know, and I can never remember anybody's name. The mom who just had the baby.
Oh yeah, she brought the baby. Didn't she have the baby on the ice?
The father.
She
right
on the
face. No, I'm serious. During one of the award ceremonies,
she might have.
One of the Canadian girls.
Because her husband was there, and the baby was. But she's a new mom, and there she is out there. She took a hard hit.
I can imagine. You know how they say some women take their heel off and beat their significant other with it. Imagine an ice skate. I mean, it'll cut you.
I've never heard that about the heel.
I've always wondered too.
That's why my wife always wears flats.
If you walk into any men's hockey locker room, the stench is just horrific.
Here we go.
I'll bet if you walk into the women's hockey, it smells
just
wonderful.
As bad,
it smells like a powder room. Probably beautiful.
Yeah, gunpowder.
All right. So
that's the show. It's all about the hockey and the.
This weekend, when do you air?
On Sundays, it's 12 noon on Channel 7. and then 7 p.m. on Channel 12. So it's 12 and 7, 7 and 12. So
for those that don't know what that means, not everybody has that.
So
12 is PNY, WPNY.
Yes, and 7 is ABC.
7 is ABC.
UTR. So it'll be on the whole show's about the hockey thing.
Okay,
I mean, there was
fair
so
enough.
much information, I had to cut a lot of it out. But
Yep.
it was phenomenal. I mean, and it took me forever to edit. You know how that feels, right, William?
I have had a very bad. Listen, only you can identify with this.
Yes.
I've had
No,
a
no,
very bad week.
Okay.
And yesterday
And
was horrific.
We had this conversation.
No, you didn't have this one yet.
Okay.
Yesterday was awful. So
Well, you had to get the show out yesterday, right?
I have a Wednesday deadline. If we can just talk a little behind the scenes.
Did this deadline move? I feel like it moves every week.
It's
sooner and
River
sooner.
Hills Properties has a new TV show. It's called Sold in Upstate New York. So normally, I'm going to tell you, the brilliance behind a lot of where we're going with this whole thing. Yes, Bill and Robin, and certainly I'm just unbelievable. But the brilliance is my wife. She watches all these shows. She loves these types of shows. So she's kind of guided me into, you ought to do this, maybe you do this. But no show ever goes out without her watching it.
Well, she did work for Letterman.
The reason she did, wrong person. You got it mixed up. Anyway, she catches all my, if there's a spelling mistake or if there's some sort of a typo, she catches it all.
She's a teacher too.
That's
so
good.
she's,
Then it's exported. Then I have to do closed captioning, and all of that has to be done nonetheless. Wow. So this week we were running late again. And so Wednesday night, I'm close to the end. So I shipped it off without her looking at it. Yesterday, we were taping for a new episode, next week's episode. And before we do that, we always watch this week's episode with Bill and Robin. And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching Robin Monjo's talking about a new house. And this house is really... Wait a minute, I screwed up. Can I start that over?
Well, you left it in.
I left it in. And I'm like, yeah, just pick it up where you left off, and I'll edit that out. You'll be fine. It's in the show. It's in the show that I just shipped off.
Well, they do that with New York Sash, too. They put him at the end, and he does all those outtakes.
The bloopers, yeah.
They're funny. They're funny.
They are, if it says outtakes and it's at the end.
Yeah, right. It's not part of the show.
But it's part of the... So I'm scrambling yesterday, begging for them to allow me to resubmit. And what meant I had to go in and fix it.
Oh.
I had to export it. I had to then do all the closed captioning again, all that stuff.
And then get here like 5 in the morning, right?
And here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
You look good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You look good for a dead person.
Yeah, I do. It's like when you're walking through the line, it's like, yeah, they did a nice job on him.
Yeah, right. Well, he looks good. He's
like,
dead.
He almost looks like himself. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so you stand by, because I see you only have one. You have 2 people coming, right?
Yep.
All right.
It's a new show.
It's a food TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's on YouTube. Is it on TV at all, or just YouTube? I got to get you're on YouTube.
Yeah, we aired on YouTube, and we share it through all the social media platforms, too.
Cool.
This is Keith Brown, by the way. Keith Brown.
Okay, Keith. And so you stand by. We're going to get to you guys in a second, all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're just doing TV talk with Paul Buckley.
Oh, no.
All right, stand by. Andrew, what do you... Just
57.50.
Oh, 57.50.
Yeah.
So I have a little time. All right.
Actually, 57.47.
Well, let's get back to Allison. I remember you when you were in the Jim Brock building, right? Wasn't that when you hired Allison?
No.
No,
that goes...
That's when he hired me.
That goes way... So I was working on Rock 107 when I'd come back from Providence and was looking for a producer.
Well, when were you in Brock's building? When was that?
After that job fired me, and then I ended up going to starting the TV show, and then we were in the Brock building.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Until he kicked us out. Maybe it didn't quite go that way, but, there's always a story. I am going to break right now and stand by. We'll come back. Paul Buckley with some new TV food people coming up. Yeah.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their roofs for troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Hey, I want to tell you about New York Sash and their big, Mother's Day is a week from Sunday. So their big Mother's Day sale is underway right now. New York Sash for windows and doors and siding and of course, bathrooms. Right now, you can sign up for Mom. Mom could win free professional home cleaning. That would be awesome. You can enter to win a pair of diamond earrings for Mom, plus 15% off all products, along with that home cleaning for you. So check it out. It's all available at New York Sash. Check them out online at NewYorkSash.com, or go into their showroom on 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, and you can see it all there. Their website is NewYorkSash.com. And let their family take care of your family. New York Sash.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
More pro-Palestinian encampments cleared this morning in New York City. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We will not stop. We will not rest. It's closed.
At the New School and New York University, police showed up a few hours ago. Fox's Molly Lyons at NYU.
They moved in swiftly. They did give warnings to the protesters that remained here on site, telling them that they weren't allowed to be here, that it was time to leave, and that if there was an additional effort to push back against arrest, that there could potentially face additional charges beyond the arrest for the protest activity that was happening here. We believe that those folks have already been pushed all the way to the back of this protest and appear to have left the scene here. There are some additional folks that have arrived here essentially to support the protesters that were being taken away.
The day after it took hours to clear out a big anti-Israeli encampment at UCLA, making a lot of arrests there.
More than 200 people for failure to disperse, which is a misdemeanor. But as of now, the LA County DA's office says it has not received any cases from UCLA.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Former President Trump will soon return to court in New York and may speak out again before going in for his trial as he continues to claim he's being persecuted. The jury heard Trump's voice in a recording related to payments made to keep alleged affairs quiet before the 2016 election.
And Keith Davidson, a former attorney for both Karen McDougal and Stormy Daniels, completed his testimony yesterday. He testified about various interactions with Cohen before and after the 2016 election. Davidson says Stormy Daniels' denial of an affair with Trump was technically true, and the money Cohen paid Stormy was not a payoff, but rather a, quote, consideration.
Fox's Brooke Singman. The former president is charged with falsifying records and payments to Daniels. An old Arizona law dating back to the Civil War that was going to take effect again after a recent court ruling that bans almost all abortions repealed, signed by the governor. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
President Biden spoke out against violence on college campuses, saying protests are one thing, but chaos can't be allowed. He also said we can't tolerate Jewish students being targeted. He has assembled an anti-Semitism task force.
Attorney General Merrick Garland and Education Secretary Miguel Cardona were among the top Biden administration officials at an anti-Semitism task force meeting this week. A source familiar tells Fox News the focus was on anti-Semitic incidents on college campuses, advocating technology companies to enforce terms of service, and the Justice and Homeland Security departments working with law enforcement to protect Jewish individuals and communities. Responding to protests on college campuses, President Biden said threatening, intimidating, and instilling fear against people is not peaceful and is against the law. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The president went to North Carolina, meeting with families of 4 law enforcement officers murdered this week, trying to make an arrest in Charlotte. He also touted his economic policies campaigning in Wilmington.
We've created a record 15 million jobs since I came to office. There was any president has 15 million, including 460,000 right here in North Carolina.
Now, later this hour, we'll find out how many jobs were created last month. Economists expect about 240,000, which would be less than in March. The unemployment rate for April expected to remain the same at 3.9%. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising ahead of the report. In the NBA playoffs, the Knicks advance.
Brooks, drive, swing, hard. He connects. Huge three.
And that sealed it for New York, beating the Philadelphia 76ers, eliminating them 118-115 on TNT. New York will advance to play Indiana. The Pacers knocked out the Milwaukee Bucks 120-98. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time. 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Sunny skies, 53 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. It's going to be real nice today. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth a trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. The father who helped beat 2 of his sons at the Word of Life Church in Oneida County has been released from state prison. Bruce Leonard and others attacked and also whipped Lucas Leonard and Christopher Leonard back in October of 2015 with an electrical cord. Lucas Leonard passed away just hours later, and his father was sentenced to 10 years behind bars. A total of 9 people were charged for their roles in those beatings. Sci-fi icon and actor William Shatner will be making a trip to Syracuse this weekend. The 93-year-old is going to be doing an autographed signing at Destiny USA tomorrow from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. at Cooperstown Connection. Fans can have him sign pictures for $159 each, or get a photo with the Star Trek star for $149. Shatner is an Emmy Award winner who is also known for his roles in Boston Legal and T.J. Hooker. He last visited Syracuse in 2020. The Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers are asking the public to help them locate their wanted person of the week. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office is searching for 30-year-old Mercedes Maria Lamb of Utica, who is wanted on drug and grand larceny charges. She's described as a white female who is 5'10", approximately 130 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Her last known address is the city of Rome. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to leave an anonymous tip by calling 866-730-8477. A 1 in a million birth happened in Boonville. Hunter Hack Farms announced 2 healthy but extremely rare twin foals born 2 weeks ago. Only 9% of all twin pregnancies are carried to term, and of that number, just 14.5% of twins are born alive. The odds of both foals surviving to adulthood are even slimmer, which is why one of the Welsh pony foals is called Millie, short for 1 in a million. Owner Chrissy Southwick said Millie was 20 pounds when she was born, while her brother Johnny Walker was almost 60 pounds. You can read more at WIBX950.com. And Austin is the second most dog-obsessed city in the country. That is according to a study just released by Bark and Zillow. Bark, known for its Bark Box, says the determination is based on more than a dozen years of its subscription data in combination with Zillow's pet-friendly rental numbers. Austin comes in second with its share of pet-friendly rentals at 77%, which well eclipses the national average of 55%. Only Dallas performed better at 79%. Top breeds in Austin are the Golden and Labrador Retrievers. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast.
Going all animal on us today.
That's right.
I got to say, can I just before you do the weather, I know this is going to make me sound really stupid, but I didn't know that a baby horse was a foal. Male baby horse was a foal. So
FOAL.
FOAL.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what is this animal? This animal that I feel like an idiot. Now, if you'd said filly, I would have been okay. But
yeah,
you know,
that's
I think
the female.
I think for people like me that aren't very smart, apparently, you need to go with baby horse. Okay,
baby horse.
Yeah, that'll right. You guys feel the same way? It's like, what the hell is a foal?
Oh, veal. Yeah. Well,
right. It's like calling a right.
That's what they call it in East Utica. Is the baby?
Okay, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right. The forecast has changed just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Your weather forecast is brought to you
for the better, by the way.
Yes, Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. We will see sunny skies today. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Gotta love it. Mostly cloudy with a low around 52 overnight. Then a slight chance of rain showers tomorrow. Otherwise partly sunny. A high near 70. Sunday will be a little rough. Rain showers, highs only in the upper 50s. Right now, we're at 55 degrees under sunny skies. WIBX 950 news time 8:09. Full forecast anytime at WIBX950.com.
And speaking of foals, some of them grew up to produce some really great horses that'll be in tomorrow's Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby
there you
is
go.
tomorrow.
There's your transition of the day.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. It is race weekend. A lot of people will be betting. I won't be. I am almost sure to lose every horse race I put
So
a bet
find
on.
out who you're picking
and then pick the opposite.
Go in the other direction.
There you go.
All right.
Meanwhile, the Knicks are in the second round of the NBA playoffs after squeaking out a 118-115 win over the 76ers in Game 6 from the Wells Fargo Center. New York will face the Pacers in round 2 after Indiana eliminated the Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games. My Yankees dropped another one to the Baltimore Orioles. The final score 7-2 at Camden Yards. Carlos Rodon suffered the second loss of the season after allowing 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 8 hits over 4 innings pitched. And while the problem last year was they couldn't get men on base, now they can get men on base, and they leave them there. Very frustrating. But they are still in a good position. They're at second in the AL East at 20-13. They'll host the Detroit Tigers for a 3-game set that begins tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Mets walked off the Cubs with a 7-6 victory in 11 innings to split their 4-game series at Citi Field. Adrian Hauser started the game and allowed 4 runs on 4 hits over 5 innings. New York is now third in the NL East, 1 game above 500 at 16-15. They'll visit the Tampa Bay Rays for a 3-game set that begins tonight at Tropicana Field. And division rivals are getting ready to square off in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Carolina Hurricanes are restricting ticket sales for their home games against the New York Rangers to fans from North Carolina, South Carolina, and select parts of Virginia. Those are all New York transplant states. As of Thursday, there were no ticket restrictions for Madison Square Garden. New York will host the Carolina Hurricanes for games 1 and 2, as well as 5 and 7 if necessary. And this is happening in both the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs, where you've got New York teams going to opposing stadiums and being inundated with New York fans.
Well, you see this
so the
with,
teams are buying up tickets to prevent that from happening.
You see this with the Bills a lot. The Bills travel very well.
Yes, they do.
Syracuse travels very well. So you end up going to, opposing teams' stadium or arena, and there are more opposing fans there than there are home fans.
Well, especially in Miami. You've got a lot of those people that have escaped New York and moved to Florida, and they're Bills fans rooting against the Dolphins. So.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. By the way, that Mets game tonight is at 6:50. What a weird time for a baseball game. I believe it's that. Mike, this morning, this ticket block is just a joke. What's going to happen is people from North and South Carolina will buy them and then turn around and sell them to New Yorkers for a profit. That's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
And Mike also asking, in a job interview, we had an expert that said, be careful what you ask. You could be sued. While in the midst of an interview. Can we ask what pronoun they want to be addressed by? I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's a proper interview question, but I think a lot of people are doing it on their email signatures and things.
Right, you do see a lot of that. So, and I'm also assuming you can search their internet, search their social media, certainly. Right? And that could. Did you want to add something, Paul? You look like.
Well, don't they have they have an application so they have male, female, other, that kind of stuff. So in
the application process, yes.
Right, yeah. So I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I'm having a tough time swallowing it all, but anyway, it's okay.
What is your pronoun, by the way?
Sir.
Present.
Sir. Okay.
Present.
God.
Everyone else is sweetheart, according to Paul. There you go.
It is.
All right, we're going to talk about this food show that's going on locally. We'll get into that coming up in just a second. First, though, let me tell you about Steve Pani Mazda and Ricky Z. I think we're going to have him in studio at some time soon performing the latest Billy Joel song.
Oh, yeah.
Rick is amazing on the keyboard, and he's amazing when it comes to putting together a great deal for you on a new or pre-owned vehicle. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport model for only $275 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with low APR financing, 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, or 3.9% on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Pani Mazda, the dealership, for details. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. From the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steve Pani Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris Commercial Mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Saturday, May 11th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents CNY On Stage Live. Join host Sydney Irving and her band The Mojo, American Idol contestant Ethan Harris, plus comedians, dance groups, a magician, and more. CNY On Stage Live, Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Tickets available at RomeCapital.com. Brought to you by the Rapke Law Firm, Tarduno Dental Office, and the Tucker family.
Curtis Lumber's Customer Appreciation Days are back. For 3 days only, May 2nd through May 4th, Curtis Lumber will pay the sales tax on your purchase. Not sure what you need for your project? Buy a gift card and Curtis Lumber will load the sales tax amount onto the card as a bonus. For details and in-store specials, visit curtislumber.com/customer appreciation. Enjoy tax-free savings May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Curtis Lumber.
Gold rose significantly in the past 5 presidential election years. This election year, gold is up 15%. Don't believe paid celebrity hype on buying gold? Call America's gold expert, Dr. Mike Fulgens, at Universal Coin and Bullion for my free award-winning gold guide. I've advised attorneys general on consumer protection. Don't overpay, as I won't add ridiculous markups. Call Dr. Fulgens. Dial pound 250 on your mobile phone and say Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day. Veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend, made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend, plus receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Adirondack Home Furniture knows that when it comes to outdoor furniture, you want something that's comfortable, durable, and stylish. That's why Polywood is the perfect choice. Polywood furniture is made from high-quality materials that are weather-resistant and easy to clean. Plus, each piece is designed with comfort and style in mind, so you can enjoy your outdoor space like never before. Whether you're looking for classic Adirondack chairs, stylish dining sets and sofas, or a beautiful fire pit, Polywood has everything you need to create the perfect outdoor oasis. So why wait? Transform your outdoor space into a place of relaxation, fun, and style with Polywood furniture at Adirondack Home Furniture. Stop in and explore their large selection of Polywood pieces and take one home today. Adirondack Home Furniture does custom orders, delivery, and setup. Stop in today and explore the world of Polywood. Adirondack Home Furniture in the former Riverside Mall, North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good guy. Good guy. That's right. Coming up, we're going to speak with Scott in Kirkville on the Kentucky Derby. He's going to give you the perfect bet to make this weekend if you want to do that sort of thing. Dwayne Eddy died at the age of 80-something, I believe. He was 88 years old.
Wow.
Is that right?
And William Shatner's 93. He's going to be signing autographs.
86 years old. That just blows my mind. In hindsight, Dwayne Eddy's 1950s guitar style sounds simple, but it is responsible for what would be used by many other famous guitarists in the future. Dwayne Eddy died of cancer on Tuesday. He was 86. His first top 10 hit was in Forrest Gump.
Yep.
And it was this one right here. This is a great song.
I was running.
That was pretty good. Anyway, this was also used in the movie The Sandlot and many, 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 many other movies as well.
Great movie.
Also, Richard Tandy's keyboards were an important part of some of the biggest hits for ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. And he died at the age of 76 yesterday, even though Jeff Lynne is the main force behind ELO. Tandy was his right-hand man, and without Tandy, there would have been no ELO, a little piece of his work. This was Telephone Man.
Yeah.
Telephone Line.
Yeah.
Line. Yeah. Anyway, that keyboard sound was the sound of ELO, and it's now gone, I'm afraid. He was also the voice of Mr. Blue Sky. All right, that's enough. Before we ever do a food segment, we always talk about dead rock and roll artists.
Get you hungry.
That always comes first. And here we are. Mr. Buckley, I'll let you do the introductions here.
Well, I know these gentlemen. I know Keith from work. He works up at the rec center. I'm there every night. And he told me about this thing. And of course, Phil Mutica.
Do you work out there?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
I do. It's
nice.
He does actually work out, too.
Does he? Like the little...
Just to verify, yeah, he's in there. He's
I'm in there
working out.
He's not in that little bike with
chiseling this Adonis-like figure you see before you.
Does he wear the full singlet when he walks in?
Listen, he comes in. He's dialed in. He's working out.
Okay. All right.
What I wear is called a stinklet.
Excuse me, I have to go throw up.
So anyway, Keith talked to me about it, and he told me, and I looked at their work. It's a new style. It's a new kind. I dare say it's kind of like a hip hop, but I don't want to say gangsta, but it is kind of a hip hop new style. I really like the style.
Like an urban flair. To
exactly.
It.
So I'm as part of Film Utica, I try to encourage all these filmmakers, to progress and learn and get and perfect their craft. So they show me some stuff, and Keith every now and then will ask me some questions. I'll give them some production hints or tips, whatever, and they're on their own. And I was very impressed by their work, and that there's some polishing to do, but they've got the concept, and they're going to tell you all about it. Let me get off the air.
All right. You both can have a mic. There we go. Bingo.
And
all right, guys.
It's amazing what you can do with just an iPhone nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. iPhones come in handy. The technology that's on the iPhones, you can't beat it right now, especially even with like the editing software and whatnot too. So,
what do you use to edit?
Right now, we're using CapCut and a little bit of iMovie on the cell phones.
All right.
We got to get this a little bit. There we go.
There we go. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is the name of your show?
It's called Eat Local.
Eat Local. Yep. And you guys, obviously, I should have read your shirt. And
Eat Local.
But you guys go all over. I saw one of your shows. You were in Brooklyn.
Yeah. We went out to Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We met with Frank Pinello. Did a filming there. We also just went out to the Bronx and did the Yankee Stadium as well.
Okay,
so
cool.
A little food preview of Yankee Stadium.
Used to be that the pizza, and it may still be, the pizza that is served at Yankee Stadium, the dough is made in Utica.
I did not. We did not get that
Is
story
that
there.
That'd be
the Oreos?
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool, right?
They have some good options. I was talking to my cousin Matt, and he said that we should go to a game. There's a suite. You pay one fee, and then you got seats, but you can walk around, and they have like full catering and stuff.
It's called
like
the
that.
Audi Suite.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where we were
Where
at.
is
We
that?
were up there
At
at
Yankee Stadium?
Yankee Stadium, yeah.
There are like 9 of those at Citi Field.
Well,
and they come with you, buy a ticket, and then you get to all the food venue. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's because people
They're
don't
not
go.
paying judges.
People don't go to watch baseball anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah. You know where you should also go is, I will be eating there maybe in the next week. In Niagara Falls, there's a place called Viola's.
You were telling me about
Viola's.
Viola's, VIOLA''S, and they are known since the 50s, maybe before that, I don't know, for their steak sub. It's a hot steak sub sandwich.
That sounds
right up our alley.
Really,
no, that sounds amazing.
There's something really unique about it. Is every time they wrap it in cellophane, and after it's put together, and then you have to unwrap the cellophane, but it traps everything in the steam and everything, and it just, I don't know, it is a sandwich I crave. Viola's in Niagara Falls.
That's actually one of our goals is to, obviously highlight and showcase the local places around here.
Yeah.
But we want to work our way up I-90, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many great places. Right?
There is. There's too many great places, honestly.
So, how many shows have you done up to this point?
Over 30 episodes.
Okay.
Yep.
What's your favorite episode?
Ooh,
That's
one's
a crazy
tough.
question,
Honestly, the last one that we just did out in Sangerfield, New York, Beaver Creek Bar and Grill, one of the best times I've had in a while, and some of the best food that we've had in a long time too.
The Beaver Creek
Bar and Grill,
really
Bar and
great.
Grill.
Like
Okay.
just dining experience. The food was kind of next level. Hospitality was really, really good.
Little hole in the wall.
Is that really what it is? Is you're reviewing, and I apologize, I got to check it out now. I'll be doing the binge thing today, I'm sure.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But is it a review
Right after he's
type
done
show?
with Baby Reindeer, it'll be all over your shelves. So.
I know, I can't rewatch that. Are you going, so it's a review-based thing? You go and then you review the places? Is there a certain theme to the show?
So the show, actually, there's no reviewing on the show. We actually just highlight and showcase the places that we're at. But me and KB, the Dudley boys of the Pizza and the Wing game, we go and we do the pizza and the wing review at all these local pizzerias and stuff. So that's kind of a spin-off of the show
You
as
do
well.
that too. Okay, that's cool.
Thankfully, there's so many different pizza and wing places around
Yeah,
here.
you'll have
And
a
they're
lot
all
of content.
different.
Yep.
So we can, kind of try everyone and talk about it.
I find that Chicken Riggies, every place seems to be different. Greens.
Yes.
And tomato pie, too. Everybody's tomato pie is different.
You're right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys have it's endless material.
Endless.
Well, it's a melting pot. This area is a melting pot for food places.
No doubt about it.
We're
All right.
lucky.
What What is your next adventure? What's food adventure?
Right now, we're just setting up season 4. We're going into season 4. Season 3 ends this month, May 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep on filming, keep booking, keep working.
And what's the latest episode someone can see?
The latest one was just Ancora.
Okay, did that.
Encore, very, very good.
Yeah.
Encore. I went to high school with Dan Licani, and he invited us there and gave us a spread. What did he give us? The Riggies.
Yeah.
Seafood paella.
Yep.
There was a
They
bunch
do
of
really
stuff.
good like crepes too. So if you want
we
dessert,
got the crepe. We
50
tried
Shades
the
of
crepe.
Crepes, yeah.
Isn't this the greatest, though? I mean, you get to eat for free.
Right on Genesee Street, right next to Stanley's.
Yeah, it's really
And
nice.
You don't get more local than that.
The next one coming up is 72 Tavern. We also take a tour of the Utica Odd with Carl and East. So,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
That's nice.
All right, so you guys are killing it. So search on YouTube for your show.
Eat Local, yep.
Eat Local
315, though.
Eat Local 315. Although you guys are going beyond 315, I think that's kind of cool.
All over New
Smart.
York, hopefully
Yeah.
all over the world one day.
All over the
There
world.
you go.
I love it. All right, so go to YouTube. I got to say that YouTube is the place if you're looking for great content. Man, you can watch for hours and hours and hours of great stuff on TV. You want to add something, Paul? Just pull the mic over.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you want to get on the show or you guys want to eat local, come to the show or come to your restaurant, just message myself, D-Rock Jeter on Facebook, or my man Keith Brown, KB the Wing Guy. We'll set it up. We'll come meet with you, break down everything, and hopefully get filming. It's a pretty easy process. I pride myself on coming up with a business plan that works out for everybody and beneficial to all. So
Okay. I need like an email like D-Rock Jeter. I mean, that's pretty cool.
No, it's an amazing moniker.
That's cool.
D-Rock
Yeah, it
Jeter.
is. It is.
What caught my eye was their technique. I'm old school, that kind of stuff. These guys are not. They're modern. They're new. It moves fast. It's quick.
Yeah.
And it's modern, and it's like I said, it's hip. These guys, and the music's great, and their camera works. It's a wonderful show.
Well, that's how it is now.
It's new.
People,
I know.
If you have a 20 seconds is too long, really nowadays. I mean,
And how
Short spans are short.
are you using like the YouTube approved music, or do you just,
So actually, we have a
so it's original
record label,
music?
and that
Okay.
we actually make the music and own the music. So everything
That's
that you
smart.
see on YouTube and here, it's all by us.
That's your
Oh, that's
music.
awesome.
Yep.
That makes it even cool. I can't believe you didn't talk about that earlier. That's
A
really
lot of
cool.
that, and then we do like a byproduct of the episodes. We'll do like short videos for social media, like
Yeah.
90-second clips, kind of
Or
highlighting
TikTok
wherever
or
we
something like
went.
that. Yeah.
And just kind of draw people in to maybe view the episode or even just tap in with us.
Nice.
And that's kind of we've gained a lot of notoriety through there.
Okay. And you're monetized? You monetized it as well?
Yeah, monetized all over the place. YouTube's hard to get monetized on, but
I know.
social medias we are for sure working on the monetization on YouTube.
Well,
right now.
what's the number now? You got to have so many.
500 then 1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Congratulations, guys. I'll be
Appreciate
watching.
you.
we
Thank you
appreciate
very
you
much.
being here.
Thank you so
Paul,
much.
too.
All right, coming up, Kentucky Derby. We'll get into that. And County Executive Anthony Pacenti is coming up at WIBX.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Saturday, May 11th, the Rome Capitol Theater presents CNY on Stage Live. Join host Sydney Irving and her band, The Mojo, American Idol contestant Ethan Harris, plus comedians, dance groups, a magician, and more. CNY on Stage Live, Saturday, May 11th, 7 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater.
Tickets available at romecapital.com. CNY On Stage Live is part of the Capitol Arts Complex Local Arts and Music Showcase during the month of May.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make languages fun and engaging. You might even forget you're learning. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. Babbel teaches language skills you'll actually use, about travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers, you'll get pronunciation just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Get Babbel. It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, I want to tell you the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Chuck Sedella and his wonderful people over there will take care of you with a drive-thru that's lightning fast. You're not sitting there all day long. You want to go, you want to get what you need and
be gone.
Go on your way.
Correct.
Or you're inside and you're chatting with somebody or working on your laptop or whatever. You could do all of that stuff there. But they're now serving, and I'm pronouncing it correctly now, finally, matcha green tea, the matcha latte. The matcha latte is, as someone told me yesterday, even though they were mispronouncing it like I was, it's the most delicious thing they've ever had, and they go back every day and get one.
Yeah, they're good.
Matcha latte at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford.
Matcha man.
Everything is a hook from a song for Andrew.
That's right. It's a problem. It's a compulsion. I don't know what to do about it.
It's like a nervous tick that you have. Some people do, certain things. You sing. I like it. Or you do the old, hello, Miss.
How's it going there, Mr. Scott from Kirkville?
Scott in Kirkville on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's always a great weekend if you're a horse racing fan. The fastest 2 minutes in sports. It's actually more faster than the totally eclipse. It's probably going to last a little longer than the eclipse, I guess. But that's the big things there. But first, I wanted to give a shout out to your producer, Dave, for doing all the legwork and getting the proper people. We did that. We did the donation to Wheels on Wheels and the food bank in honor of WIBX and my parents.
Nice,
and he did the legwork and got it to the proper people. So I wanted to thank Dave for the work and stuff like that.
What do you? I don't mean to get right to it, but
we've got to get right to it.
We're going to get right to it.
But I heard that Vicente is actually hanging out in the green room, and it's actually a high-tech green room. You got the best food in town, and nobody wants to leave the green room.
They don't want to leave the green room. Yeah.
No.
They like donuts and stuff like that, caters it, and so I kind of want to go down there and hang out myself.
It's a great place to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're welcome any day.
Okay. So you are welcome and at any time. All right, but Mr. Vicente is in studio right now. And
so he's in the dugout today with you guys, huh?
He is, and you can say hello. All right, what do you think of, I'm thinking West, the problem with horse racing for me is something happens, I get the winning horse, I place the bet, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be huge. And I walk away. This one time, I bet, and I won, but I won less than my bet. And I won. This is the dumbest. I won less than what my bet was.
Well, Wayne is messaging in this morning.
How is that possible? I'm with Wayne. I'm going West Saratoga.
Yes, he said that horse is a horse that sits back and comes on late.
What do you think of that, Scott?
Well, I tell you, he's the cheapest horse. This is made for TV if he wins. They only paid $11,000 for the horse.
Get out of here. Wow.
Yeah, and we're one of the favorites, Sonny Leone, they paid $2.3 million.
The other problem with horse racing that really is just ridiculous is right now that horse, West Saratoga, is 50-1. Tomorrow it could be 30-1.
Well,
right?
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing too, Bill. I'm glad you brought it up. It's not. It's what the pool of money. The 2 years ago, I remember there was also like a 60 or 70-1 shot that won the Derby.
Yeah.
Rich Strike, and everybody in the Preakness goes, okay, anybody can win. And I was trying to tell people that the morning line is not what you get.
Right.
And everybody's betting. I was at OTB, and four people walked up and bet all the 40-1 shots on the printout, and I told them they're not going off, and the longest one was 15-1.
So at race time, so you may buy at 41, you may get in at 40-1, but at race time it's 20-1. That's what you end up. That's
exactly.
what you bet. Not, so all right,
it's not like sports betting where you bet it that day and
you
that's
get that
what
line.
You get.
Okay,
exactly.
All right. What do you suggest for people? They're getting their stupid little hat on and all that.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
Well, I'll tell you. First of all, check out the weather. It's raining today, supposedly, not tomorrow. But if you happen to wake up and it's raining, the 2 and the 3 move up in the rain. Sierra Leone and Mystic Dan. Mystic Dan ran his fastest time ever, winning the Southwest Rebel in the rain. So if it's bad weather, the 2 and the 3 move up. If you're looking at I actually won when I was. It's never going to happen, but I hit 5 out of 6 straight trifectas a year. Now I actually had 2 50-1 shots, and they were horses that ran at Churchill Downs, didn't do anything besides, and they both finished second. The 7 horse Honor Marie, which is going to go off about 20-31, has won 2 races at Churchill Downs.
Okay.
So he might not win the race, but if you're playing exotics, I wouldn't throw him out because sometimes it's horses for courses. Oh, by the way, I got quickly. Michigan State Kathy called in about her horse, No Time. Unfortunately, the horse broke a bone in his foot 3 weeks ago. He actually finished second in the Tampa Birdie, so he's out. So that's why I didn't see him. So,
all right.
So the good thing is they saved him. It wasn't euthanized. It's just a broken bone. So
okay, all right.
It's probably great. So basically, that's what happened to Michigan State's cat. That's why I couldn't find the horse, and we did some research on it.
And who do you think is going to which horse do you think is going to win?
Well, here's how the race sets up. The 17 horse with Johnny Velasquez for Forceness is going to go to the lead.
Okay.
Track Phantom, the 12 horse. This whole race might depend on the 12, not winning the race, but basically forcing the 17 to go faster than it wants to. Track Phantom, Steve Asmussen doesn't work out his horses fast in the morning. He believes in endurance. This horse ran a hole in the wind in a workout, and I don't think Asmussen wanted the horse to go that fast But that horse goes a mile and forces a 17 to run fast. That's going to compromise Spanish. But if you see a 48 and he's up by a length, the 17 is probably going to win this race.
Okay.
Sonny Leone is a dead closer, so the rail isn't going to hurt him too much because he's going to drop back. The other one, this is Just Steel, which might be a bomb, the 6th horse, chased by the way, Bob Baffert horses can't be in the Derby.
Yeah, I know that.
So if you're looking for Bob Baffert's name, you're not going to see him. He had the 2 best horses that might have been the favorites. Just Steel ran second to in the Arkansas Derby. It's the best horse probably in training. He had the best second. He's going to go up 20-1. Wayne Lucas, old school, just worked the horse out of the mile, which doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a bomb, the 6th horse, I think it's got a legit shot. Also, Just Touch was the finished second by a nose to the 2 horse. One's 10-1, one is 3-1. So you figured, well, why that difference?
Yeah. All right.
And Garou's on him. And the other closer is Catching Freedom, which Fravor and Pratt had 3 choices in this race. He's one of the top jocks, and you choose the 4. And so you got to get some clearance on that. But if you're just fooling around, the 17-2, you're not going to get too much back. But one thing in the Derby is that Place and Show pays more than normal. There's so much money in the pools. Also, today is the Kentucky Oaks, and there's a thing called the Kentucky Oaks Kentucky Derby Daily Double. 5, 8, and 11 today are legit, and then you can bet as cheap as $1. Then you can add your horses in the Derby. I'm going to have 7, 8 horses in each one to have some fun. But it's a cheap race. But those horses right there, if you're looking for some bombs, that's another one. Those 2 horses are going to go off just touch, probably 10-12-1. And the one horse I've been following, and we'll find out, it's a Japanese horse, Forever Young, number 11. He was over in the UA Derby, and he won 2 races. He's about the same sire as the 3 horse, or the 2 horse, Sonny Leone. So if you like the 2 and you go by sires, Forever Young is just sire-wise is good.
Yeah.
And Curlin horses, if you get really deep into the woods, Curlin's was the sire of the last 2 Kentucky Derby winners.
Okay.
And so if you're kind of looking, Curlin is a good sire, can get the distance.
All right.
And
all right. Well, I hope you win a lot of money this weekend.
Yeah. Like I said, I play tries and stuff like that. I used to pick 4 or 5 horses, keying them, but it's a fun time. And we'll see what happens.
All right, Scott. Thanks, man. And, who knows? Big money coming your way. We'll see.
We'll see you tomorrow.
20 horses and a mile and a quarter. Anything can happen.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Good luck.
Yep. You too,
Right, thanks so
See you,
much.
Scooter.
Kentucky Derby is a big deal. I know that the county executive will be at a Kentucky Derby get-together tomorrow.
It will.
I have no idea. I just
Sipping
assumed.
mint juleps.
Just assumed that.
I just assumed maybe.
Are you inviting me? Is that what?
You're welcome.
Are you inviting me?
Actually,
over
I may not.
you may not be there or whatever.
I may actually not be there, but you're welcome to come. So, do you have a Kentucky Derby party to go to? There's always there's a couple
usually
big
there always
ones.
is. There usually used to be a couple.
Yeah.
I've not. No.
Horse racing and me. It's fun, it's kind of fun, but just don't expect to win anything.
Yeah.
That's
Bill
how
would
I
rather
feel.
be at the blackjack table.
I was trying to follow him. Who did he pick? I didn't hear.
Did you catch who he picked?
Did you catch who?
I was taking some notes just to see. So he did like Forever Young.
Forever Young.
Yeah, which is the Japanese horse. And he kept
That's Rod
calling it
Stewart's
the number 2.
horse,
He
I
kept
think.
calling it Tony Leone, but it's Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Tony
is the
Leone's a
number-
former legislator.
Number 2
I'm
and
sure
number
Tony will bet that one.
Number
He
3, Mystic Dan. Those 2 are good with the rain. If it's raining, go with them.
Butters, then.
So I think I was trying to. I think that more confusing is my notes of what he was saying. Yeah. I don't even understand what I wrote down.
Okay.
So. All right. So good morning.
Morning.
Let's see. We again. There should be a, you know how when Homeland Security used to do like a color code based on the threat warning.
Mm-hmm.
What was the worst? Was it orange or red? I don't know what it was.
Probably red, right?
It was weird.
Wasn't red. I mean,
You would have thought it was red, but I think whatever. They need that when they hold a press conference up at SUNY because everybody thought this is the big one.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know.
It's played up to be so large, and then you find out it's a job development program.
It is, which is important.
It is.
Red was the worst.
But I think, I think, when it comes to, governors and U.S. senators, it's always
if they're there,
it's a big, or lieutenant governors in this case.
And that's how we kind of figured out.
It's kind of a big, or they anticipate it to be a big splash or whatever. But
we had kind of figured out that the governor wasn't going to be there. So
right.
She was in New York City.
So, and then I wanted your take on. I know this is a bit off the trail, your trail, but your take on all these college campus.
I don't think
so far it's been quiet here, but it has. It's Syracuse.
For that,
Syracuse has it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. Obviously, we all are. I think. I think it's. I don't get it. I guess.
Yeah.
And growing up and I was very young as you were. I mean, you're younger than I am, but I do remember, at least in the 60s and 70s, the early, late 60s, early 70s, vaguely, watching and then learning more about it in time, but the protests about Vietnam.
Yeah.
And, that was, and you looked at that one in the context of, sending,
the draft
and men into a battle that was, and many saw even at the time, and then as difficult to win and really devastating.
And what was the reason? I mean, we all walk away. It's just the most unpopular war that I think we've ever. And by the way, we just pulled out after all those lives.
But I still think, and we've talked about this a great deal this week. I think in the office it was we've still only seen I think one or two of these students that were able to articulate in some kind of
intelligent,
reasonable fashion. Not that I would agree with the concept, but of why they were there.
Yeah.
And you wonder what becomes of or what's becoming of this point.
Well, the problem you have is you're talking about some of the smartest students in the country.
Are they?
Well, it's interesting.
Allegedly.
It's very interesting because to get into Columbia.
Look, I don't have children. You did, or you do, and have paid for college.
I'm currently
still paying.
And so
I guess the question is, or collectively, how
a lot of those schools too. It's wealthy parents, wealthy students.
It is, but my point though is they're smart, but they're book smart. Right. I don't know that they understand the complexity of what we're talking about over there. And by the way, they apparently think they're going to solve everything. That hasn't been solved for 1,000 years.
A couple things. I've always, and this goes back, being the history kind of guy and like, that stuff. And I've never understood, whether it was a government or whether it was an individual, holding someone accountable for something that they don't have anything to do with. In other words, you're holding Jewish students
They have nothing to do.
They have nothing to do
other than a bloodline.
Other than a bloodline.
Yeah.
And it was no different. It was one of the worst decisions ever in the history of the United States when FDR, imprisoned the Japanese citizens of that time during World War, at the beginning of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was like, for what? Unless for what purpose? Yeah, and
they could have been.
They could have been spies
infiltrators,
or infiltrators,
right.
And I know that gets into the weeds a little bit, but at the same time, you're doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
And it's just it makes no. I mean, so the Italians had joined with Germany at the beginning. Right. Should that have impacted all of my ancestors and family?
And the other part of this is it is their government, and whether it be Hamas or what Israel is doing and they're forgetting about what happened in October.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But it does baffle me that they don't understand the whole complexity of they're just looking at the surface, and here are supposedly some of the brightest kids that are going to play a role in our future down the road.
Protests. I mean, are protests. They're not designed to be violent. Right. And
or breaking windows
or
and
under any circumstances.
Taking over buildings. That just doesn't work.
Calling for the elimination of a race of people.
Oh, I mean, it's just, but yeah, so I guess we're fortunate that our students here, have, exercised, restraint. There've been some different, and we've seen a couple little gatherings of protesters on both,
and it's okay it is part to oppose a policy, to oppose a war, but the problem is this opens the door for the bigots to come out and shout their Charlottesville garbage at these events, and then it just gets worse and worse, and that's what happened to Columbia.
And then to have the NYPD go in, and UCLA. I watched UCLA yesterday morning.
That was a little more forceful than New York was.
Even more so. I mean, it was so.
So, which is not something you have to. We're dealing with here, for the most part, right now.
Somebody said, about we were talking about if you went to Columbia and you were spending all that money, what would your parents say? And I said, my answer was, if I went to MV, my father would have said the same thing about what we were.
That's right. Wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have mattered. You're absolutely. And that's the other thing. It's like, are their parents calling up and saying, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back to class.
We got Lance and Lee chiming in whenever you're in here. Please ask Mr. It's a two-parter.
Man, all he's got to do is hit send, and you interrupt just to.
Well, because I don't want to deal with what I dealt with earlier in the week ever again.
All right.
Please ask Mr. Pacenti what the county rules are concerning flags at the county building. There is a recent story.
Can we talk about that? I think Galimi did what was probably wise in terms of the potential for lawsuits. Well, picking and choosing who gets to go up. You can't do that.
We have 3 flags. We have several flagpoles at all of our buildings. We have flagpoles at all of our buildings, and 3 flags are displayed: the United States flag, of course, State of New York, and the County of Oneida.
Yeah.
And occasionally, and there are times in that we will raise the MIAPOW POW flag, because that is another approved flag under the protocol of that.
Yeah.
We don't, we have not done flag raisings for that purpose, because when and I think that I stick with the protocol of what's up there.
It eliminates the chance for lawsuits.
We'll lower them when necessary. I've lowered them, on my own without the governor or the president's interaction, because I think
last week you did.
For
the police officers.
I did immediately. I the governor waited till the end.
I don't know why.
I did it immediately.
Yeah.
And there was some that argue that I don't have that authority, but I think under the guise of our government and what we stand for and our support, we've done it, and we've done it before with others.
Yeah.
And others, other public servants that have passed. Either in the line of duty or otherwise. But
the one problem I fear with the Utica rule is they're allowing other governments, so other countries. The problem you're going to have is somebody's going to want North Korea, somebody's going to want Russia, somebody's going to want Iran.
China. And what happens if you raise Israel? And what happens? Does it cause
Palestine?
So that's why we stick with what.
And he's also very complimentary of the roads.
I have
disparaging Utica's roads.
Okay, he's complimenting. All right.
Thank you.
Here's Wayne with a question. Wayne, you're on the radio, on with the county executive. Good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to say hello, and can't you get, Lula Polo was a heavy bettor, can't you get him to weigh in on these horse bets?
What would Lou bet on this weekend?
What would Lou do? Question. That's a good segment. What would
Lou do? Yes. And you know what I think we ought to do? I saw a piece on Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you, Wayne, for that.
Oh, thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great
weekend.
I saw a piece on Jimmy Kimmel where they sent a crew out with a stamp, a pen, and an envelope, and said, all right, you're sending a letter to your grandmother. Where would the return address go? And the kids are like, I think that goes right down in the lower left corner. And then where does the stamp go? The stamp, I'm pretty sure, goes on the left side. I mean, these kids had no...
Really? I didn't see
no
that. That's
clue. Part of Lula Pola's public service should be teaching kids how to put a stamp on an envelope. Right?
Well, or teach somebody else how to do it for you.
That would be good. I'm sorry for that.
You still wound up from Buckley earlier this morning.
I
aren't you?
am a little bit, and I apologize. That's Friday.
A little bit. He has that effect on people.
What else would you like to hit on?
St. Luke's.
St. Luke's. We had a meeting. We had our second community meeting this week. Well attended. I still would like more input, but starting to look at scenarios there. I mean, they had some questions about what we're doing, but I think our goal has been, and I said it, is to engage the public. I mean, I was questioned that night by one resident saying, "Well, you already made your mind up. You're just going to shove it down our throats," and that's not at all true. We are looking at a variety of options.
Wouldn't you like someone to come up with a brilliant concept?
But I also think, and then the concept or the question was, well, that's going to raise our taxes. No, let me explain how it works. More housing,
right?
Increased assessed value reduces taxes.
Right.
I mean, it helps. I mean, you want more. I mean, the way to reduce taxes in terms of the concept of whether it's county, city, town, village, school, is you have more.
Yeah.
You have more taxpayers.
Right.
You have more housing. You have more.
You got to look at. I mean,
you have more businesses that can move.
So you're looking at it as an opportunity.
We're looking at it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want it to be a brownfield site? Do you want it to just have that building sit there for the next 15 years? I don't.
I almost feel like the St. Luke's is in a better position than St. E's.
In some
you're
ways,
really limited at St. E's what you can do.
In some ways, it is. I mean, they're because of the way it cuts into the it's a commercial and residential corridor of sorts, because you're really
the college right
you're really
there.
connecting. It's interesting the way because it overlaps from kind of on the border of the town of Whitestown into the town of New Hartford, on the city of Utica. You got New York Mills, you got Yorkville, you've got New Hartford, you've got Utica, all in that quadrant there of places. So it gives you that opportunity, and it's been somewhat of a commercial corridor to some extent, because when you go further down to French Road, I mean that's what you're when Champlain moves over. So it gives you a lot of opportunity, and I think that that's why we're being deliberate on it. We're not just saying, here's what's going to go there. Here's what we think should go there.
Well, ultimately, it's got to be private. A private investor may come in and do what they want.
And somebody, you have to evaluate what are the costs going to be? What's it going to cost to tear it down? What's it going to cost to plan out, if it is a neighborhood, if it is a mixed use, what's that going to look like?
Right.
A lot of things.
When is the next?
I think we're looking more, probably, I want to say, probably end of June, early July.
Because I got to say, I had someone call here and say, I don't understand. They didn't promote it. They didn't tell anybody. They're doing, you know why? They're doing this because they're trying to do it quietly so they can.
Secret plan.
And that's not,
not true.
We sent out mailings.
We talked about it.
We sent out mailings. We talked about it. We posted it on our websites. We've done it.
I did a story on it
through the media. We've done it through.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this word.
Billboards.
We'll promote it heavily for the next one.
Time.
Every half hour.
We'll give you a date ahead of time as soon as we lock in the date.
Thank you. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Derby, and
you too.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A slowdown in hiring, a tick up in unemployment. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and a report that's just out this morning.
There were fewer new jobs created in April than forecast. The Labor Department says the economy added 175,000 new jobs last month, a 5-month low. The unemployment rate rose to 3.9%.
Fox's Ginny Casola, despite the hiring slowdown, a surge is brewing at the stock market. Dow futures up nearly 500 points. Former President Trump just posted on Truth Social those job numbers are horrible. He'll soon be in court for more testimony at his first criminal trial trial he keeps calling a persecution. The day after the jury heard a recording of Trump and lawyer Michael Cohen discussing a payment to Karen McDougal to keep her quiet about an alleged affair before the 2016 election.
The former president first told Cohen to pay with cash. Then he tells him to use a check. That's really important because the defense will certainly point out that, a check leaves a record of the transaction, showing in Mr. Trump's mind that there was nothing illegal or wrong about what they say was just a typical and standard non-disclosure agreement with McDougal.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court. The former president's not charged in that payment. He is charged with falsifying records and payments to keep Stormy Daniels quiet about their alleged affair. Yet another pro-Palestinian encampment broken up. That's at New York University, where police showed up 3 hours ago in Manhattan.
They're now starting to clear out the encampment here. They've made really quick work of this. The tents are all completely gone. They're now sweeping and collecting all of the items that are there.
Fox Business Network's Madison Allworth at NYU. 56 arrests reported there and at the new school where an encampment was also cleared nearby. The Biden administration is doing more for so-called dreamers. Immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children and shielded from deportation under the Obama-era DACA program. They'll be allowed to enroll in Obama